Is it sane? Is it possible? Still I ask myself, are we our game? It's not logical, but you contemplate, are we am I?
Hello, everybody, and happy St. Patrick's Day. I got my jersey here, but I'm not wearing it because I get too hot. Woo! It's Austin Matthews, though. Sad. It's sad. I wish he was playing. I'm sure he wishes he was playing. Maybe, you know what? By the way, this is old, eh? Reebok. Whoa! That's several jersey manufacturers ago. A Reebok jersey? How long ago must this be? This must be very old. Anyway, hey, welcome to the St. Patrick's Day game, everybody. Let's have some fun. Now, I got a bone to pick, and that's why I wanted to start the stream a little bit early tonight, because I think, to be honest with you, I'm a little pissed, and not at you, not at anybody that we know, but somebody you're familiar with. Jack Hughes. Greg Wyshynski wrote this article for ESPN, and I'm just going to read from it. I'm looking over here, and you know that Jack Hughes obviously scored the overtime winner for Team USA, and the pucks from those games, from the gold medal games. So the Megan Keller puck, which, obviously she scored for Team USA against Canada. Jack Hughes scored for Team USA against Canada in the men's game. And they are featured in an Olympics 26 display that also contains Hillary Knight's Team USA jersey and a stick used by Brady Tkachuk, among other items. And according to the CEO of the Hockey Hall of Fame, these donated items represent the defining moments of the world's biggest stage and carry powerful stories of national pride in hockey history at its highest level. The Olympics 26 display will help ensure the unforgettable Olympic moments are preserved for our guests around the world to experience. And I guess what Hughes said was, he said he wants the puck, saying that he wouldn't want it for himself. He would want to give it to his dad. He's like, I wouldn't want it for myself. I just want to give it to my dad. I know he'd love to have it. He's like, I guess before he's like, I don't know where that puck went. I don't know who has it, but it's not me. I sure as hell don't have it. And then he said, when I look back in my career, I don't collect too many things for myself, but my dad's a monster collector for the three of us. And I know he would have a special place for it. And like, that's totally cool. But what they say at the end of this article, which just pisses me off to no end, is he hasn't found time to reach out to the Hall of Fame about the puck yet, but, quote, at some point I'll get on it. So you haven't asked? You haven't asked? You're mad about a gold medal puck and you haven't asked? I understand if you ask about the puck and you want to give it to your dad and the Hockey Hall of Fame says no. But you haven't asked? You haven't said, hey, guys, I'd really love to give this to my dad. I'm sure anybody would understand that. You don't need the puck in the Hall of Fame. I know the game's about to start here. You don't need the puck in the Hall of Fame. It's a nice thing to have, but Hillary Knight's jersey should do just fine. Ask, Jack. Don't turn this into a national story on ESPN. Are you kidding me? It's bizarre, man. What kind of world are we living in? I don't get it. Like, this is a bizarre ass story. This is crazy. By the way, they're about to drop the puck here. Bo Gru versus Jean-Gabriel Pageau. Listen, I got no issues with Jack Hughes wanting that puck, but to make it seem like he's somehow hard done by because he didn't ask for the puck and this is normal. Like, Sidney Crosby doesn't have his golden goal puck. It's in the Hockey Hall of Fame. Ask, man. Stop making a story out of it. What's up with these guys? They're weird. This is weird. Stop making it well, it's in Toronto. We're mad about that. Yeah, well, that's where the Hockey Hall of Fame is. You guys have the MLB Hall of Fame. You have the NBA Hall of Fame. You have the NFL Hall of Fame. We got the NHL Hall of Fame. You'll be okay. Get on it. You know what? Fly to Buffalo, drive 2 hours. Or if you can't bear to fly through Pearson, which honestly I don't blame you for, we have the worst airport ever. Like, get off your ass and make a phone call. Or better yet, Jack, how much do you make? Is it $8 million a year or just shy of that? Have one of your people do it. You don't even have to make the call. Just send a text message to one of the people that worked for you and go, hey, do you mind asking about the Hall of Fame puck? I'd really like to have that. At least have the conversation. Like, good Lord, dude. I just can't stand this crap. You know, it's so much about the Canada versus America stuff. They're framing it as Canada's trying to steal America's moment, is essentially what they're doing. It's bullshit. Total crap. Sorry. I had to get that off my chest because we don't have a podcast tomorrow. Otherwise, I would have said it there. Also, what happened in that bar with your hand, Jack? We'd all like to know. Thank you very much. Let's get going on this game. Good evening, everybody. I hope you're doing great. Listen, it's going to be an interesting night tonight. Matthew Schaefer has got he's literally, it's basically like he's hosting his own concert at a small venue. He said close to 1,000 people are here, just people who know people who know people who knew him. They're all here just to see him. And I think that's great. I think that's awesome. Good for him. By the way, it's Robert, I think, that's doing the modding tonight. Hello, Robert. And Maddie is doing the stream. Hi, Maddie. Maddie can't hear me right now. Well, Maddie actually can hear me. She just can't hear me direct. Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to have a good time tonight. And I got it. You know, one of the things that I'm like actually watching for in these games, this is where it kind of gets interesting when you're streaming. And honestly, if you're still watching Leaf games at this point, you're crazy. You're crazy like me. That means you're watching for individual performances. The Leafs also made a signing today, and I have to get the guy's name right because it's Vinny Borghese. He is he was a captain, and he is 5'8" right shot defenseman. But again, he's 5'8". Is Brad okay? Is Brad sick? Signing a 5'8" defenseman in the year 2026, Brad Treliving? Interesting. All right. So that's interesting and exciting. And he's also apparently a very, very special college player. So we're very excited about Vinny Borghese. But Shotgun Draw says Vinny Borghese, 22, 5'8" right D. He's the Torrey Krug special. Hey, man, if we got 70% of Torrey Krug out of this guy, I'd be happy. Torrey Krug in his day, awesome. Still very good. Narf Sharp says Brad's really into short kings now. Ian Ball says 5'8" fits in the net. Does it actually? No. Colin Bradbury said, I haven't known 1,000 people in my life. I find it hard to believe. Well, that's what he reported to Stefan Rosen of the Hockey News. Perhaps he overshot the number just a little bit, but if he is to be believed, 1 in every 18 people at the game tonight are part of Matthew Schaefer's entourage. Now, he didn't pay for all their tickets. Apparently, his dad got a lot of text messages about those. But you know what? It's not like Leaf tickets are hard to come by these days. They're selling for less than half of face value on the open market. If you go and you look at StubHub, listen, if you want to watch a bad, boring Maple Leafs team, you can spend still way too much money to see them. Oliver Ekman-Larsson's in the lineup tonight. His wife just gave birth, and he wasn't at morning skate today. Craig Berube said he was resting because, as you know, or maybe you don't, you get sleepy. You get really sleepy because they don't sleep much early on. So, yeah. Yanaki says, is he a puck-moving defenseman? Yes. Vincent Borghese so he's part of the U.S. development program from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. 20 points in 36 games so far this year. People rave about this guy. So I think Elite Prospects said they had him at number 14 on the NCAA free agents list this year. Not bad. Hopefully that's not the only one. By the way, Leafs going to the box as Callum Ritchie has his stick knocked out of his hands. It looks like Nick Robertson that's going to go for slashing, I think. Sarah Marlowe says, I don't even think I've even met 1,000 people. Dolan Dark says, Adam, yell at Steve for the Borghese video. I think Steve's going to do it from Truro. He's in Truro, Nova Scotia right now. That is a nothing slash, by the way, for Robertson, but because the puck is out of because the stick is out of Callum Ritchie's hand, they're going to call that every single time. Mixed Heart Productions giving the sleepy emojis. I hope it's not because of me, man. All right. Ice Knight 13, a young defenseman Treliving has been replaced by a Cylon, confirmed. Agreed. Or one of those changers from that really, really bad Marvel show on Disney Plus. Did you guys see that one? The one with Amelia Clark from Game of Thrones. That was a bad show. That was weird. And all the aliens are like green. You know what I'm talking about? Trevor says, is Steve on his Lighthouse Fisherman arc? Well, Truro is not exactly that kind of a community, but at least I don't remember it being. I don't know. Maybe I don't remember. But Steve is there because he's doing some Canada Read stuff. And there it is, Braden Shen with a goal on the power play. Super. Burps McGurps. Jim Mills said the Stars scouting strategy shifted after Rantanen trade because they're out of first-round picks. They focused on NCAA and international free agents last year. I bet Brad is doing that. Yeah, as they should. Boy. That is – the Leafs, by the way, I think are only now with Vinny Borghesi's contract, and I don't even believe it kicks in until next year. They're only at like 43 contracts out of a possible 50. So they got some room. They got some room. Damn. Listen, I just have this feeling. I have this sinking feeling that the Leafs do not have it tonight. I just have a sinking feeling. You know what I mean? You know when you know your team just does not have it? I don't think they have it. I got this feeling when we started the show. I'm like, they do not have it. Butcher says, evening chat, and Adam. Evening, Butcher. Pretzel Hunt says, Islanders aren't going to stay hot. You know, I was listening to the Leaf report on the way in because, well, first off, Jonas and James are great people, but also because it's a very, very interesting show. One of the guy who's got the puck right now, Matthias Michelli, I've been wondering about his future with the Leafs, and it sort of sounds like they probably won't qualify him because they're going to have to qualify him at like 3 point whatever he makes, and you just don't want a guy like that. Maybe you keep him by not qualifying him, but he will probably be an unrestricted free agent this year and can sign wherever he wants. I wonder about I wondered about too. They kind of mentioned, you know, that Austin Matthews has 2 years left, but really it's 1 year because if you haven't really turned the corner, or at least look like you turned the corner sometime around this time next year, you're starting to have the conversation about, well, we got to trade Matthews. Nice setup there by Domi to Cowan and Nyes, and that puck is turned aside. Another shot and another save. Leafs get their first real chances of the game. That is the Domi, Cowan, Nyes line, a line that honestly, I mean, they didn't really have much going last game, but whatever. Hey, keep it going, right? Now, I am looking at the Islanders lineup, and it's, yeah. So I don't know why they started Sorokin tonight. Maybe they need the points. Adam, do you qualify Robertson? Absolutely. Absolutely qualify Robertson. Robertson will be, he'll be an RFA. Whether or not he stays with the Leafs, completely different story, because obviously we've heard, before that he's asked for trades, and I'm not totally sure that he's loved his time in Toronto, but what I can tell you is that they have given him the opportunity, and he's made the most of it. I'm a Nick Robertson stan. I like the guy a lot. If he doesn't want to be here, that's one thing, and I totally understand wanting a change of scenery. The one thing I will always say about Nick Robertson is he gives 100% every shift. You never catch a shift where Nick Robertson is taking time off, and I respect the hell out of that. Butcher says, honestly, I think if there's something doesn't appeal to Matthews over the offseason, he will ask for a trade before next year. I don't know if I see that. Oh, here comes Tavares breaking in, and he has just drawn a penalty. I think what it is with Matthews is you're going to have to sit down with the new general manager, because I think we all know that's coming. I think you're going to have to sit down with the new head coach, and I think you're going to need to see a plan. Like, what's the plan to get better in the near term? And I also think, like, nobody wants to have this conversation, but let's have it, because this game is just another game, right? To these guys, to us, we're watching the game. We want to know what's going on with the Leafs, but are we watching for this season? No, we're watching to see who sticks around, who puts in a good effort, and who's going to get traded. Is Austin Matthews a $13.5 million player anymore? That's the question I have. So if Berube's gone and we got a system where Austin's being utilized properly, is Austin Matthews a dominant force in the NHL anymore? He's had a lot of injuries. Now the knee injury too. I think that's a question you got to ask, right? You got to know. I'm assuming you're banking on him being that, and of course you should. But you don't know for sure. I don't know for sure. We don't know. We'll see. SLS98 says, evening, Adam. Here at the game, and there's a row of guys all wearing Schaefer jerseys. Must be a few of the 1,000 family and friends here, LOL. I would love to know if that's actually true, if it's that many. Grew 778. How do you feel about the Oilers' playoff chances with Draisaitl out for the season? Man, what a loss! Oh, man, and I saw that hit, and I was surprised to see that hit was a lower body injury. Maybe I missed the point of that, but I watched the replay from the Nashville game. I was like, that doesn't even look like that crazy of a hit. I'd love to know what happened. It must have been knee injury or something. But yeah, Draisaitl, that's rough. He's one of the greatest playoff performers of this generation. I don't know, I don't have any good hot takes for you. This has been a disaster season for the Oilers, and they're still going to make the playoffs. And the problem with the Oilers is that Leon and Connor drove and drive so much of what the Oilers are that, you do have Hyman, you got Nuge and stuff like that, but let's be honest. Is that the deepest team in the world, or they just have the greatest players in the world? Oh, nice play. And Joseph Wall with a big save. Leafs start the power play by allowing a breakaway. You know what? We got to have fun with this. If they're going to be bad, at least we got to laugh, right? Nylander across to Michelli. Michelli back to Oliver Ekman-Larsson, who gives the puck away. Uh-oh. Oh, okay, we're okay. Islanders go for a change. Leafs have scored exactly two power play goals in their last 6 games. One of them was from Austin Matthews. The other 5 games of the last 6, they've scored exactly 0 power play goals because they stink on the power play, amongst other things. Yeah. I think that Edmonton can still do well, especially in that division series. Like, if it's Edmonton, I would have been really curious to see Edmonton versus Vegas with Draisaitl in the lineup. But without, I think that's a different series, and I think it's a lot more even. And Edmonton's goaltending kind of stinks. Connor Ingram's been good. Yeah. I mean, I don't like their chances. Let's put it that way. I don't like their chances. But should the Leafs go get Sam Halam? No, thanks. Thank you for that message, though. And I do see there's some people in from Sweden tonight. I saw the Swedish flags. Greetings from Sweden. Girthy Bettman, here's a hot take. If Ryan Lomberg was 4 inches taller, he'd be better than McDavid. Well, he might be in better shape. I don't know if he'd be better than McDavid. Lomberg rocks, though. How do you not love the Lamborghini? Oh, no. Terrible giveaway. Boy, the Leafs are worse on the power play than they are on 5-on-5. It's unbelievable. Holmstrom and Peugeot just walked them. They're just going to play out the string tonight. My daughter brought this home from her March break daycare. So she told me I had to wear it tonight, and so I am. This is my bling. Anyway, I can't believe the Leafs just lost the faceoff in the zone. I think the Leafs have allowed more shots on this in this power play than they did 5-on-5. They got 0 shots on the Islanders. I think they allowed 2 or 3 on this power play. You know when they just don't have it? Oh, now Brandon Carlo's going to the box for a high stick. I think that's on Anthony Duclair. Yep. Carlo just whacked him accidentally, but damn. Leafs are just that was an awful power play, and now we're going shorthanded. This is their second power play their second shorthanded this period. Wow, he really hit him. Ooh. Yeah, I bet that hurt. Matt Mock says, how do the Leafs find their number 1 defenseman? Do you want to hear the answer to that? Actually, I don't know if you're going to like the answer to that. You sure you want to hear the answer to that? And there's another goal. 2 power plays, 2 goals. And this time it's Callum Ritchie. And it is 2-0 Islanders. I told you the Leafs do not have it tonight. The Leafs do not have it. I'll come back to that question. Don't worry, I'll be answering it. Do you guys actually want to hear how the Leafs get their number one defenseman? Tell me, chat. I'm gonna wait for you. I'm gonna wait for you. I'm gonna tell you. The trade will be Matthew Nyes or William Nylander. If they're doing it, that's how they're doing it. If they're doing it in the, if they're doing it in this era with this group, that's what they're doing. It'll be Nylander or it'll be Nyes. Easier to trade Nyes. You can get more for him. He's got no trade protection. That's what'll happen. Islanders found their number one defenseman in the draft. Leafs could find it in a trade. One guy, everybody talks about Adam Fox. I'm like, I don't know. Is Adam Fox good anymore? I liked Adam Fox when he was at his best. One guy I wonder about, 1 year left on his deal. Would Zach Werenski be available? Could you make a trade with Columbus? I'd be interested about that. If, I think Werenski's got a year left. That would have to be a nice trade because I don't think Willie's waving to go to Columbus. So if Columbus is like, we don't think we can sign this guy, I don't know if they think they can or they can't, I don't know. But if he became available, that's what you would do. Now, you got to get an extension as a part of that deal. But yeah, I can see that. But I also don't know that Werenski would re-sign here because I think just like Matthews, he'd be like, okay, I'm happy to sign here, but what's the plan? And this is where it starts, right? You got to get the right general manager in place. Sincerely hope that guy's name is Jim Nill. I'm begging Dallas to have a terrible playoff run. I'm sorry, I can't do this anymore. If Dallas has a terrible playoff run, Jim Nill is in the last year of his contract, apparently. That's the report. Maybe they just go, you know what, Jim? It's time for us to go a new direction. But it sure feels like Doug Armstrong is going to be the guy. And there was an article earlier, and I'm going to pull it up for you. Give me a sec here. When Doug Armstrong announced, Doug Armstrong, by the way, president and general manager of the Blues. Steen is taking over. Alex Steen will be taking over as general manager of the Blues this summer. And here's what Pierre LeBrun helped to write when he did this piece on Doug Armstrong. What Armstrong can't control or predict is whether another NHL team will come knocking at his door this offseason, asking about his interest in running their franchise. I'm excited about working with Alex, as an Alex Steen, Armstrong said. I think there's a job there for me. It's not going to be an honorary job. There's work I can do to help him, but I do love a lot of the things that managers do, the building of the staff, the crossing of different parts of the organization to behold something that's sustainable, to working with athletes, to working with coaches. But it did run its course in St. Louis, as in he knows that there is a time and a place when it's time to move on. Things have gotten stale. You need a new set of eyes, which is why they put the succession plan in place with Alex Steen 2 years ago. He said, I'm 61. I'm not sure how you're supposed to feel at 61, but I don't feel ancient. I don't feel out of touch. I don't feel out of energy. I just feel like I'm out of a job. And he laughed as he delivered that line. He's not out of a job, but he is an outgoing GM, and there's some nostalgia with that. I get the feeling, though, he may not be done being an NHL GM. A team is going to come calling at some point. Guys, that has Toronto Maple Leafs written all over that. All over that. Now, at 61, if I was a multimillionaire like him, I would be traveling. But these guys are wired differently. Nylander with a shot. Oh, that puck goes wide of the net. Michelli to Tavares. Todd Pickles says, hey, I just got off work to watch the laughs. Well, welcome, Todd. You are not missing much. The Leafs do not have it tonight. Whatever they had the last couple of games, they don't have. 2 pretty easy power play goals already by the Islanders. Man, they're just clowning Nylander on the broadcast now. Just they just showed his poor guy just showed his warm-up shot and he missed the net super wide, and they were all making fun of him. And then he did it during the game. Time to snap that stick, I think, Willie. Are there any St. Louis Blues fans in the chat tonight? If there are, can you guys raise your hands? I would really love to hear from you. Any Blues fans? Any Blues fans? Warrior Womp. So how about that Vinny Borghese signing? Hell yeah, 5'8", 173 pounds. That's full beef. He's going to have to skate, man, but it'd be cool. Any Blues fans? Zach says, Adam, I'm back in enemy territory as a Rangers fan. Well, Wazoo says, my dad's a Blues fan. Brooke McMillan says, I'm here. What's up? Okay, so we do have some Blues fans here. This is good. You guys see the position we're in, which isn't dissimilar to your position. Couple of really high-end players and a bunch of guys and not a lot of success. Is Doug Armstrong, and me, and I mean you, I mean to ask this in the most honest way possible. Is Doug Armstrong a guy that can fix the Toronto Maple Leafs? Blues fans, can Doug Armstrong actually come in here and fix the Leafs? Because here's the deal. He did get Alex Pietrangelo. He did trade for Ryan O'Reilly. He did sign Tyler Bozak. He got Vlad Tarasenko. He got the whole group together, won the cup. Rachel Bishop, unfortunately, a Blues season ticket holder. Wow, there's a lot of Blues fans here tonight. All right, you guys tell me. Can Doug Armstrong fix this? HD First for Halo says, I'm a Blues fan. No, he is not going to fix the Blues. I think his days of being a good GM are over. Pretzel Hunt says, Adam, you got to play a little jazz or blues to lure them out. Rachel Bishop says, you do not want Doug. Sean says, no to Armstrong. Dante says, Adam, Pens fans need the Leafs to win. Help us. I don't know if we can help you. I'm sorry. NC says, Doug Armstrong knows when to sell, but he's a slow builder. Yeah. Normax says Bergevin for the Leafs. Oh, stop it. No way. That would be terrible. He's jacked, though. I got to give him credit. He's the Mark Bergevin. Mark Bergevin's arms are, one of his arms is the size of two of mine. Great save by Sorokin there on a point shot by the Maple Leafs defense. Michelli gets the zone, immediately loses it. Pollock, excuse me, throws it down, and that is an icing. Butcher says, I still think we need Pronger. Okay, so here's the issue I have with Pronger. I feel like he's lobbying for it, A. Nothing wrong with that. But my A issue is that he's never run anything before. Why would we put him in charge? Like, Steve Yzerman spent like years being a assistant general manager. Joe Sakic too. Why would you just throw Chris Pronger in there? I can see Doug Armstrong hiring Chris Pronger as a part of the staff. NC says Alan Walsh for general manager. Alan has always been pro player. I don't think he's going to be a GM. Thomas says Pronger has been in the Florida front office. The recent Florida front office? Like the good Florida front, like the Bill Zito front office. That's what I don't know. I just don't know that, like, you don't just hire Chris Pronger because he is Chris Pronger. You could do that on broadcast television, but this is the Toronto Maple Leafs. Sparta says nil president, Pronger GM. Sure. Actually, I would want Nil to be president and GM for the first little while. Whoa! Richie had a great opportunity. Woll was right there, and lucky he was. Kamikaze says Pronger hasn't done anything. He was Department of Player Safety. What's the difference? It's not that I don't think Chris Pronger is a smart guy. I think he's brilliant. Whenever I hear the guy talk, I'm like, that's a smart human being. I would love to hear what his ideas are. But I'd like to see a track record first, wouldn't you? Yeah, see, Pronger left Florida in the 1920 season. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. Listen, Chris Pronger could come in and be the greatest general manager of all time. If that happens, man, oh, happy guy. Happy guy right here. Happy guy. But not Doug Armstrong, everybody, right? You guys are saying no to Doug Armstrong? Are there any Dallas fans? Do you think Jim Nill will stick around after this year? Zach said we'll do a 1-for-1 Brad Treliving for Chris Drury. I don't think any side is happy in that trade. Man, Shen's looking active tonight. Was almost a Leaf and traded at last deadline. Has been traded now at this one. How sad. Duclair breaking in. Leafs defensive coverage just does not look very strong tonight. They are not active at all. You can see it. They're just dead on their feet. All right, Blues fans, tell me this. Who would you rather have as your GM? Brad Treliving or Doug Armstrong? Actually, Leaf fans, I want to know from you too. What would you rather have? Another year of Brad or a year of Doug? And you know with Doug, it ain't just going to be a year. We're talking 3 to 5 years with Doug. You guys are all saying Doug. Yeah, you're saying Doug. That's Bad TV, says Brad. Ice Knight says you guys need Bergevin. Hell no. Oh, look, it's producer Hayden in the chat saying, hello, party people. Hey, at least I could say this about Doug Armstrong. He's a Leaf fan. Jimmy says, I might prefer Brad Treliving if they hired Jim Nill as president. Oh, I love Jim Nill. I think he's great. Shot by Michelli. Sorokin made another great save. Sorokin's got his game tonight. The shots the Leafs have thrown at him, they've been pretty good. That's pretty good. Matt says Patrice Bergeron should become our GM and win the Cup. Can you imagine Patrice Bergeron as a Leafs GM? That would be very weird. I don't know. Has he done anything post hockey, or is he just chilling? Victor Menso says any change is better than Brad. Adam, come on now. Todd Pickle says, why isn't Matt Sundin GM or Wendell Clark? Well, neither of them have put in the work to be management. Like, I don't know. Matt Sundin has a very strange relationship sometimes with the Leafs. When Keith Pelly came aboard, apparently he did reach out to Matt, but for whatever reason, there seemed to be a disconnect, and I kind of wonder if part of that was Brendan Shanahan, to be honest with you. Brendan might have been thinking that Matt's was maybe trying to steal his thunder or be the next Brendan Shanahan, be the next president. But I have heard from people that Matt's was a little turned off by the whole scenario, felt a little uncomfortable, just what I heard, and hasn't been around much. So I don't know. Steve Dangle for GM. I think Steve Dangle for GM. I think Steve would do a good job. It might be bad for his health, but I think he'd do a good job. But you know what? Like that isn't like as much as it's like it seems like I like what I do. You know, like Steve, I think likes what he does. It's someone else's job to be the GM. Just be good at it. Be good at it. Oh, Jesse Blake for GM. Now there's a choice. Jesse Blake. You know what? I could see it. I could see it. I could see it. Dolan says, Adam, Keith Pelly's glasses are neither cute nor quirky. They are lame. But they're jeez. Listen, if the Leafs win the cup and Keith Pelly is the CEO, you guys will be buying multicolored glasses. Let's be honest. I will too. I will. But it hasn't gone well for him his first 2 years. That "we're not here to just sell jerseys" line really sucks right now. That is haunting him. Corey said, "Did Jesse even win in NHL GM mode?" Yes, he did. One time. And we actually did a live stream because he was going into game 7, and we watched the whole game, the three of us together, and it was hilarious. I loved that. I think Jesse Blake's just too damn busy now. He's being, he's at the game tonight. He's a reporter. I miss those days. Did he win it twice? Did he win the cup twice? Robert says he won the cup twice. Robert hung out with him on those streams a lot. I only remember the one because that was the one I was around for. Tavares, good move. You know, another thing that when I was listening to Jonas and James today for the Leafs report, you know what else kind of changed my perspective? This blows my mind. John Tavares is a depth center now. As a Leaf fan, how does that hit you? Oh, man. Lee, shot. Oh, good save by Joseph Wylde. That's his name. John Tavares is like a depth center now. That's crazy. And they're right. He's a very good depth center. But Johnny T should probably be the third line center next year if you got a good team. Time passes fast, man. Unreal. Unreal. I just don't think he can be. I think he's very effective, but I think they got to limit his minutes. Very effective. Now let me get to some of these super chats. Emo Jalapeno. Hi, Adam. I made a green pizza, spinach, green pepper, and basil. Yum yum. Are you guys doing anything fun? Oh, for this, I'm hanging out with you guys. I wish I was doing what I used to do, which was go out and drink and get crazy. It's been a long time. I don't think I can do that stuff anymore. Francois LaBelle. Maddie, by the way, is downstairs. She is going out and partying afterwards. So I'm not the one to ask if you're doing fun stuff. Like, are you doing something fun? Yeah, like if you count going to see Zootopia in theaters, sure. That is fun. No, you're right, Maddie. That's fun. But no, I'm not doing any. I'm not doing fun drinking stuff fun. Maddie will be. But I would love to know if anybody else is doing anything fun for St. Patrick's Day tonight. Are you hanging out with us and then going out and drinking on a Tuesday night? Francois LaBelle, I've come around to Jesse's take on hat tricks. 4 goals just isn't a hat trick, like 18 eggs isn't a dozen. However, since you score goals subsequently, you do score 3 goals at one point and get a hat trick. By the way, the Habs and Bruins are tied at 1. You know, that's an interesting thought. You have a hat trick, but it's a temporary hat trick. Because if you score again, according to Jesse, no longer counts. Victor Mento, out of the 3 of you on SDPN, Jesse wins. Love you though, Adam. In terms of being GM, don't worry. I'm okay with that. I've never wanted, like, being a GM would be, I think, a fun idea and really painful in practice. I think it would be a lot of work. And I kind of like the career I've built for myself. I like hanging out with you guys and chatting about the Leafs. I don't think anybody would hire me for a hockey team either. I think you need to start like Dubas did. You're like the equipment guy for the Sioux Greyhounds when you're 16, and you work your way up through the organization, and you climb, you crawl, you climb, and then you get there. And I've spent the first 20 years of my career in broadcasting. Doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? Alex says, Adam, do you speak any other languages besides English? No. No, I don't. No, I don't. I do kind of wish that I had, but I think you got to be exposed to it more. Like, I think growing up in Quebec, I think it'd be a lot easier to learn French faster, or living in Europe where you don't have a choice. You got to learn. Harlow gets the puck out. 53 seconds to go in the first period. Don't let the shot counter fool you. The Leafs have not really been in this game. Although the shots are 9-7. Let's not believe that. Jacqueline K says, I speak high school French. That's what I speak. I know certain words. I can sort of make out a conversation if I'm in a French speaking area, be that Quebec or France, both places I have been. But I can't converse in it. And in Quebec, they're actually really nice about it. They'll let you try to spit the sentence out. In France, they're like, "Go f yourself. I'll just speak to you in English." Like they have no time or patience for you, especially in Paris. None. Emo jalapeno spent 8 years conjugating verbs. That's the problem with French in Canada. There's no there's no applicable, like, okay, how about this? Don't teach me to conjugate verbs. Let me just figure out the sentences first and then conjugate later. Like when you learn English, do you learn English by conjugating verbs as a child? Or do you learn it by listening to people speak and learning conversation and slowly picking up sentences and then words, and then you learn grammar and syntax, right? That was the problem. You're learning it in reverse. I don't understand this. Oh, Kamikaze says shots are 9-7 Leafs. No, they're 9-7 Islanders. Leafs have 7. Roca says we don't conjugate verbs in English, mate. Well, you know what I'm talking about. You don't learn grammar until much later in your education. Do you know what I'm saying? Also, our verbs don't have like male and female attachments to them, which is a different concept from English to French, right? Also, if you could learn any other language, like, is French the most valuable language you can learn? Or I've always thought maybe perhaps like if you're going to do business, Chinese would probably, like Mandarin probably would be the most valuable, and perhaps Spanish afterwards. A lot of the world speaks Spanish. A lot of the world speaks Spanish. Francois Lebel, you still have a dozen eggs in your 18 eggs. You have a dozen and a half dozen. It's just the way you say numbers, like 21 and 21. Yes, Francois Lebel, that is true. You have you don't have a dozen, you have a dozen and a half. Metal Wolf asks, how genuinely heated did Steve ever get on SDPN? Like the most angry ever? Is that what you're asking? I can't even remember. There's been a couple of times where I've heard him like banging the table, trying to make a point, but like angry? Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. I don't really know. Maddie, do you have an answer for that? I don't have an answer for that. For the amount genuinely mad? Like genuinely mad. I can't think of any. Maddie makes a good point. She's like, I think Steve's a lot more calm than people think. Um, he's actually quite quiet when unless he's in a comfortable. Oh, Julia makes a good point, and Maddie will agree with this. Anytime traffic comes up, that's it. If you want to piss him off, bring up his ride to work. That's what it is. That's what it is. David Owens 56 says, "Is there a reason they don't mic the questions in scrums? Is it incompetence? Is it intentional? Logically difficult? That Peros video was infuriating." David, I agree with you. There is not a reason other than pure. Yeah, we're kind of lazy. There's a lot of teams that do it. The Leafs have started to do it as well. Um, a lot of teams have a really great setup, actually. But in scrums, so there's a difference. Like there's a post game where you go to a room and you talk to the home coach, and there is a ability for that person to be mic'd up. I think what happened today with when George Perro spoke to the media was it was like a scrum in a hallway at a hotel. Now, would it be smart, considering how many people are going to watch that clip and watch that press conference, to have somebody there and mic them up? 100%. I have to think about the logistics of that. But if you are like, if Sportsnet, because then you'd have to mic it up for each camera. Like that's the thing, right? You got to remember, this isn't like a typical press conference. It's a scrum, which means you got your camera and your mic and you're running to that spot to get that interview, which is actually quite exciting. And I've had to do that before. Uh, I think it would be cool if in those scenarios, they actually had a setup where you could do that. But I think they are also hoping that not a lot of people watch it because they're trying not to draw attention to that at the moment. Hockey Freak 1028. Adam, did you hear about the meteor over Ohio today? Yes. I heard there was like a big bang or something. And it was like crazy. Yeah, I heard about that. I don't know much about it other than it was in my thing. Francois LaBelle dropping 5 SDPN membership. Thank you, sir. Francois LaBelle says, I'm just in the weeds. By the way, I agree. Spanish first. Botanical Bud. Thoughts on the Pens win last night, hoping the Leafs too hard because we wouldn't want to let you down. The Penguins win was emphatic last night. Major. And I think the Colorado Avalanche have a lot of injuries and a lot of new players, and you caught them at a weak moment. We'll see if these guys fit in. Remember, getting Nick Watt and Nazem Kadri is one thing. Fitting them in and finding them a role, completely separate. Michael next door says, yeah, but this is Canada. More people should speak French. Speaking French got me my job. If you want to work as a diplomat or a politician, you should speak French. I think that's totally fair. I can tell you I had no aspirations to be either. I do have aspirations. I would have had aspirations to speak more French. There's no question. The problem I had was just the way they taught it. It was just, I mean, it's not completely their fault. I was kind of a student that really liked to sit at the back of the classroom and crack jokes, but it's not like anybody, even the people that were good at French, were like, man, this class rocks. It was boring. We could have done better. There are new ways. Anyway, I'm going to leave it for now. I'm going to come back, though. Maddie, what clip are we running here? Okay. This can't count for the first period, but this is a, have we been happy with how the Leafs are playing recently? It is kind of interesting that they have picked it up since Matthews got injured. Have a watch, and I will see you at the beginning of the second period.
Because the Leafs did win.
Yep.
Bo Grew, part of the Grew crew.
Bo friggin' Grew. Turns out you should use players from the Marlies.
He had over 50 points with the Marlies this year, and the Leafs were like, no, we'll never call him up.
Third in the American League in scoring.
And he's got three goals.
Goal scoring.
3 goals in 4 games, 2 last night.
Yep.
And they've been rock star goals. Like last night, one of them was like a tip, but the other one was a absolute laser beam.
You know what? The tip was off the bar, though. So, shorty, tip, and a laser beam.
It's awesome.
Rock star.
That's great shit. And he got the belt from Michael Pezzetta last night.
Who was a healthy scratch?
Yeah, they healthied Pezzetta for some dumb reason. I don't understand it. Yeah, we need to see Calle Yarncroke. We have to.
That guy's got Berube in a trance.
Do you want
I don't
shift
know.
chart or just how much they played?
How much ice time?
Oh.
So I want to know what Bo Grew played in Buffalo, and I want to know what Bo Grew played in Minnesota.
So we can start with Minnesota. Bo Grew, if we go there, and we see Benoit Olivier.
Benoit Olivier.
There we go. 2 goals, 2 points, +2, 1703.
Okay, now what did he play in, before anybody comments, what did he play in Buffalo?
It felt like more. I'm going to say 18. 18, 20.
Believe the answer is closer to 19, but let's have a look.
Hot diggity dog.
1908.
Wow.
Yeah.
Guys,
There it is.
did Scott Lawton ever get over 12 minutes?
No.
No.
I don't think. Damn. That's such a good point.
No.
Like, no disrespect to Bo Grew. I'm happy he's here. But this is why Craig Berube has got to go.
I mean, Lawton
Are you
might,
fucking kidding me, guys?
I know.
You traded a first-round pick and a prospect for a guy that this guy won't play more than 12 minutes? Fire the coach in December, Brad.
Yeah.
Fire him. And I know they had Nick Waugh. You know what Nick Waugh plays in Colorado? Wing.
Yep. Adam,
Nick
here-
Waugh, Bobby McMahon, Scott Lawton. Each scored in their first game. Bobby McMahon had 5 points in a game.
5 points, 3 goals. Here's one that I found for the LFR video yesterday. Now that you're all fired up and excited. He has as many power play goals in 2 games with the Kraken as he had all season with the Leafs.
Because he's on power play unit 2. When power play unit wasn't working, what would they do? Did they hold guys accountable and switch them up? No, they said, let's throw you back out there for the 8th year in a row.
It was up to like Max Domi and Bobby McMahon to make the most of their 25 seconds.
Nick Robertson too. Let's not.
Nick Robertson too.
What the fuck, man?
Yeah, I know.
These guys have got to go.
I know.
And
Hey.
I don't care what Craig Berube said to get those guys going in the Anaheim game. I'm sure it was a great speech. Craig, you ain't it for this team. And I love that Bogru is playing this much. He should. You know why he is? Because Craig doesn't have a fucking choice.
Hey,
There are no centers left.
you want me to give you some good news? A little bit of good news. Okay.
good news.
I am a big player. I'm 6'2". I'm over 200 pounds.
Oh, wow. You're a big boy.
I'm good at what I do. I'm a good player.
Oh, you're good.
I'm good.
Now I'm interested.
I can score goals.
Damn.
I make $812,500 against the cap.
That sounds like great value and somebody that I would love to investigate.
Do you want to sign me in free agency?
Yeah.
Well, I got great news. You don't have to because Bogru is signed through next year.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah. I remember mentioning his name near the beginning of the season when Domi was playing center and shouldn't have been ever. Now I understand because no one's left, but
That nice Domi Cowan line is a big bunch of fucking nothing, eh?
it's
Holy shit.
sometimes fun, mostly nothing. But
Why are we putting Cowan with that?
there are no other players.
Bogru exists.
Bogru does exist. That's true. And he
Sorry.
seems to be doing okay for himself.
I apologize.
Now I don't remember.
Bogru beginning of the season. You mentioned it.
Oh, yes. They had Domi playing center, which he should have never done because he isn't a center.
He's not.
David Kampf, they could have used him with Scott Lawton out. He didn't want to play for the Leafs, but he did want to play in the NHL. So they found something that was in between and sent him to the Canucks. And I was like, why did you sign Bogru then? Not really knowing anything about Bogru. Like, I'll be honest. Like, it's not like I was championing this guy. You know who was championing him? Brad Treliving, signing him to a 2-year contract. This guy's played, heading into the season, 65, I think, career NHL games, has 1 goal on an empty net and 4 assists. And you sign him to a multi-year deal? Who the hell is his agent? I want to know what agent was able to get that player with that production 2 years. The Leafs gave him 2 years and then didn't use him until past game 60. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. That's such a disconnect in the organization. Like, what this conversation should maybe be about is, hey, they have this player, look at him doing well. Isn't that fun? It is.
Oh, it's awesome.
But the season is beyond salvaging right now. And I don't think it had to be this way.
It didn't. This is a better team. This is a better team. I'm sorry.
They're not a bottom dweller. They're not a basement dweller bottom feeder is what I meant. I don't know if they're great.
Certainly not anymore.
They're not a contender. Maybe they don't make the playoffs. They should be in the hunt, for God's sake. Yeah, they've had injuries and everyone's had injuries. I understand. But they didn't use this lineup optimally.
Yep.
And I mean, the proof is in the pudding. Bogru that's an excellent hockey player.
Yes. And an NHL player.
NHL player ought to be on the team next year, probably out of camp, the way this is going. He's great.
Hey, you could even bring Scott Lawton back, but you can't do it if Berube's here.
No, he's a non-option to bring back.
And I think the next guy that needs to come up, because I saw it yesterday, Justin Bourne did such an awesome job. I got to shout him out at first intermission. Now, of course, they come out and they score 3 goals at the beginning of the second, but
hilarious.
He was like showing Philip Myers and Simon Benoit. It's like, here's an open passing lane, and here's how they iced it.
Oh,
And they can't be, you can have one of them in the lineup. You can't have both. And
it's not playing together.
I don't understand that at all.
Well,
and so you got
OEL left the team for personal reasons. So that's the only reason, I guess.
Is that the only reason, or do we just call up William Villeneuve and have a look?
We should. There's another Marley having an excellent season who's just trapped.
Myers is scratched all the time. Stetcher has started to get scratched.
Yeah.
You need a puck mover back there. Have a look.
They called up Henry
fucking
Thrun. Didn't use him.
Just look, man.
Yeah.
You're telling me unequivocally, guys, and Jesse, maybe you can tell me because you're at the game more. And Henry Thrun has played for the Leafs, hasn't he?
A couple games.
You're telling me that it's guaranteed your chances of winning are better with Myers in the lineup over Thrun, Myers in the lineup over Villeneuve, You're telling me, you're guaranteeing me that.
Let me give you this. Will Villeneuve is having a great season on the Marlies, but is also a restricted free agent. Before you head into that conversation, shouldn't you see?
Don't you want to know?
Don't you want to know what you got?
Maybe he's TJ Brennan and he's an AHL All-Star, not defensive enough to hack it in the NHL.
Those
Fine.
guys exist. Those
Fine.
guys absolutely exist.
But we found out, didn't we?
Yes.
We saw him.
Yes. Sometimes you got to know. Brian Burke, I want to say, did that with Justin Pogge.
Yeah.
Remember? Oh, let's just see. And then he put him in and, oh, wow, was he terrible.
We traded the wrong guy.
Goodness gracious. Whoops. No, this is the time of year, dude, injuries and friggin' illnesses and personal stuff. And also you just sort of aren't contending for anything. Call guys up. Call guys up. You have no problem healthy scratching like heart and soul guys like Steven Lorenz. So what are we doing? Give some guys a chance.
Jesse, were you surprised by the Lorenz scratching? Because I kind of was. I didn't think he played bad. I thought he's been killing penalties well. Like, what else is he supposed to do?
No, but he's a guy who I feel Craig Berube is okay with putting in and out of the lineup to get other guys some minutes.
He's a soldier.
Like he's never been. Steven Lorenz has got to be in there 82 times in a year.
Okay.
So I feel like that's just kind of the position he's in. The Henry Thorne thing is interesting because you can see that Brad Treliving only called him up because his hand was forced with the OEL situation. Yeah. It's like, okay, OEL's got to go do daddy duty and you see the birth of his child. So we got to call up Thrun, but we don't actually want to play him because they didn't.
Thrun's another pending free agent.
Yeah, but like, okay, now that you've been forced into this situation, you might as well see.
Right.
And their refusal to do that all season long is a large reason why they're in this position.
Like, how about this? Like, I'm heading into summer where I got to negotiate a deal. I need to be playing games.
Yeah.
I got to be playing games. I'd rather than be in the NHL than the AHL, but I know I make more on this call up in the NHL. Actually, no, I think he just gets his money in the AHL. The best thing for all these players is to be playing games, whether it's in the AHL
somewhere.
or the NHL.
Yeah.
Calling a guy up. Now, maybe the weather had something to do with that. I know it was messed up in Minnesota. I don't know. But I was so disheartened when they came out of the trade deadline with the exact same decor. Like, it's interesting that they're playing better now. They got embarrassed into it. I love the effort I'm seeing every single night from Nick Robertson. Like, we're evaluating what you got to do with the rest of the season as a player is prove that you belong in the NHL and prove that you're a player worth keeping. Like, Nick Robertson, I have no interest in trading that player.
Well, he wants out, though, probably.
Well, right. Well,
too bad.
Damn, you're an RFA. So, whoops.
Yeah.
I like what Dakota Joshua's doing, but like with the young guys,
think of Matthias Bocelli? I still
he's an RFA.
Sure is.
You know,
I think he should keep scoring and then they can trade him. But I'm not
sure.
I am not. He's got great chemistry with Willie, and that's cool. But where was that in October?
I don't disagree with that, man. I don't disagree with that at all. I want to give me a reason to watch. Give me a reason to watch these games. Like, Bo Grew is a friggin' oasis in the desert. Oh, thank God. And he's got an interesting name. And I could do bits with it. And he's scoring goals. And he's got lore. This is incredible. It's way better than just watching, 14 games left. You're just staring at your watch and running out the clock.
Yeah.
Like, I want to learn some things.
Yep.
Hey, did you like the thing you just watched?
Was it hilarious?
Was it informative?
Was it me losing my mind?
So I think you guys are going to love this story. On TSN's Overdrive today, which is a great show. They do an excellent job. That's one of the best. I think it's one of the best sports radio shows Canada has to offer. They have Dave Feschuk always comes on, and Dave is a guy that's got a really interesting sort of history in Toronto sports because he was the guy that he straight up asked Phil Kessel, he's like, "Are you uncoachable?" And Phil just kind of laughed at him and said, "Man, get this guy out of here. Like, who is this guy?" Right? And so Dave Feschuk's always just he occupies a very interesting part of the sports media landscape. You need people that are contrarians. You need people that have weird opinions. And listen, not everybody's going to agree. But Dave Feschuk every once in a while pops out and says something where I'm like, Dave, I think you're just saying this to be difficult. And I think this is one of those instances. And I don't know Dave. I've never met him. So I have no idea what he's like. But he said of George Peros and the Department of Player Safety. Let just picture George Peros in your mind. Picture the Department of Player Safety in your mind, okay? He said, I'm not sure anybody can do that job any better. About George Peros. I'm not sure anybody can do that job any better. Dave. Come on. I think that's one of those times where it's like, you know what? If I say this, a lot of people are going to react to it. I think he got me. Don't you think? I think he got me. I've been had. I've been fest-chucked. Nicholas, just after I left, said, still anyone's game. Go Isles, though. Nicholas. Come on. You know there's no hope. There's no hope here. Oral says he played you like a fiddle. He did. He got me to react. I reacted. And now I'm talking about it in this live stream with you guys. Deb says, I want some of what Dave's smoking. You know what? I bet that stuff is like our parents' hippie level stuff from the 60s. Like the good, you know? Pretzel Hunt says, goons stick up for goons. I don't think Dave Feschuk was a goon. I think he's just a journalist. Jackie says, I think Chris Johnson was really right when it comes to Department of Player Safety. It needs to be third party. Certainly, that would be the fairest way to do it. That doesn't mean it's the way to do it or the way that they will do it. Because, again, as CJ said, they would then lose control of the process, and I don't think the NHL owners want that. Dolan says, Adam, you were right about McCarron being a good pickup. He just clobbered Bedard. I hope that drew a crowd. Nylander with a shot. Looks like Adam Pellich is going to the box here, and he's not happy about it. I think the ref thinks he slashed Nylander. He's like, I didn't slash him. Oh yeah, that's a slash. It's a one-handed slash, but it's a slash. All right. Now, we got a scenario here where the Leafs have a power play. On the last power play, this is power play 2, don't you know? On the last power play, the Leafs allowed 3 shots, and they created 0 shots. We're not hoping for goals here. They only have 1 game in their last 6 where they've scored a power play goal, and they actually scored 2 that game. One of them was Austin Matthews in his last game this season against the Ducks. Yuck. Tomato, tomato, tomato. But, and I was just looking up some stats here. That's why I went quiet. I want to say the power play is over. I was just going to ask you how many shots the Leafs would get on this power play. And it turns out power play 2, 0 shots, baby. Let's go. Woo! Damn, what is Dakota Joshua doing out there on the power play? And he pulls down. Oh my God. Now that's an objectively dumb penalty to take. But also I get why he's mad about Simon Holmstrom, because Simon Holmstrom goes down like a bag of rocks. David Owens, only way to watch these remaining games, listening to SDPN stream, half watching the game on mute while rediscovering a love of Diablo 2. Guys, I have never played Diablo, but I've heard it's an incredible game. Leafs and Islanders now 4-on-4 for 90 seconds. Nylander carries it across. Now, this actually could be fun. This could benefit the Leafs. They have some good skaters. The Islanders probably have better skaters, but hey, we gotta play to our advantages here. Shen. D'Angelo with a shot. That goes wide, and there's almost a very good opportunity there on the backhand, but not able to happen. William Nylander kicks the puck out. He's got Tavares with him. 4 Islanders are there in coverage. Riley to Tavares! And that puck just goes wide. He had Sorokin beat, but the puck went wide of the net. Oliver Ekman-Larsson tries to keep the puck in now, and the Islanders catch and reload. And into the Leaf zone is Hyman Holmstrom. Dolan says the Leafs are butt tonight. That is a nice way of putting it. They are stinky. They are diaper bad. Use diaper bad. Oral Sex says, that's a great name, by the way. Oral Sex. That's a great name. David, don't do it. I'm a recovering Diablo 2 addict. Ryan says, does Adam stream every game? No, I'm doing 3 this week, though. I did Sunday night, I'm doing tonight, and I will be hanging out with you Friday night. And that means that Maddie, who is, who's in her 20s and doing cool stuff still, has to hang out with me, a 37-year-old, on a Friday night before she gets to go out and party. Lucky Maddie. Maddie said her frontal lobe is folding. I don't even know what that means. Is that a TikTok thing? Oh. So it means your emotions have finally matured. Okay. All right. All right, look it up. Zach says, I really feel for Maddie. Ryan says, I'd pay to hang out with you. Ryan, save your money. I'm not that exciting. Maddie can attest to that. Robert says, I will also be here. Okay, well, Robert, I guess before you go out on your Friday night, we got a goal. We got a goal, and it's a weird goal. It's a very weird goal. It's Steven Lorentz. I don't even think the Leafs knew that went in, but it's Bo Grew and Steven Lorentz out on the ice. Who else but the Grew crew? So Lorentz kind of creates the score, or the forecheck. Grew grabs it, and Lorentz. So it's Bo Grew with another point, by the way. Bo Grew. That's crazy. So Lorentz creates the opportunity. Yarcroke's in there mixing it up. Grew gets the puck out of the corner on the other side. Good little forecheck by the Leafs' third line. That is. Oh, no, that was Bo Grew playing for Jacob Quillen. That looks like they've benched poor Jake Quillen again. But anyway, a weird goal, but a good goal. It's just Julie. I'm quoting you. David Owen says, I named my barbarian character Grew. Now that's nice. Brad says, no swearing, Adam. My mom is watching. I respect. Am I swearing? Have I sworn a lot? I tried not to swear. I don't think I've been swearing. Yeah, Maddie's such a Gen Z. She's like, is he gaslighting you? Excuse me, King. Is he bothering you? That's Maddie right now. Don't make Maddie jump into the chat. She's going to get real upset. Okay. So when your frontal lobe is unfolding or folding? When it's developed, manages decision-making, impulse control, planning. Interesting. Well, Maddie is mature enough to know, okay, I got to work a little bit on a Friday with Adam, and then I could go party. Woo! I'm jealous. I miss those days. They were fun days. Colin Martin, I wish the Leafs frontal lobe would fold. Colin? Yo, that's funny, dude. That's funny. The Trash Panda. The Leafs are wearing their true colors, LOL, just green and white. Now that's funny. Now, American money is green and white. Canadian money is not. Just the 20s. It's just Julia just said Maddie's got work-life balance figured out. Yeah. Maddie said everybody should. Yeah. Yeah. You listen to this. Maddie's going, you got one life. What are you, an inspirational TikToker? Come on. Sloopins 982. If there were any other Leafs down, if that were any other Leaf down, Matthews would have just stood there watching. Does wearing the C mean you ride or die for a guy that has never and will never do the same for you as their leader? You know what? I have seen Austin Matthews get into fights, specifically one with Steven Stamkos. And while I agree with you, I'm not 100% sure that he would have gone in and mixed it up with Radko Gudas. I do think you make a legitimate point. There are questions about that. The reality is that we don't know. And the fact that we don't know is the problem. We should know. We should know. Now, I'm not expecting William Nylander to go in there and be like, all right, Radko, you and me, stick him up. But at least yell at the man. Get angry at him. Brandon Carlo is 6'7". Brandon, grab him. Grab him. Just grab him. Do a little scuffle. Somebody said Maple Leafs have a lobotomy. Oh my God, this is great. That's funny. Oh, that's funny. That's good. You guys are funny. Also, I am the Marlies played at 1:00 this afternoon at Scotiabank Arena, and they wore their St. Patrick's kind of themed jerseys. And I saw a picture of one William Villeneuve in his, and I thought, would be nice if he was playing for the Leafs tonight. Sure would love to have a look. Tyson Barnett, is Carlo done this summer? I think Carlo is traded this summer for sure. Yeah. You're going to be really disappointed with what Carlo brings back. Actually, you might even be smarter to keep Carlo, try to rebuild his value and get something back because it's at an all-time low right now. Because, remember, you can want a guy gone, but it's sort of a bad idea to trade him at the bottom of his value, right? The Leafs wanted Dion Phaneuf gone. What did they do? They played him a bunch. And they're like, wow, look at his numbers. Don't they look great? And Ottawa was like, man, they do look great. And the Leafs were like, do you want him? And Ottawa was like, I'm not sure. And they're like, come on. And Ottawa was like, okay. And we traded him to Ottawa. Now, he did well in Ottawa, but I don't think he was quite the defenseman they thought they were getting. Tyson Barnett, does Maddie sell supplements or lifestyle advice? Maddie? Maddie says she should. Maddie, give me an inspirational Maddie quote. That's what I need. Maddie is asking if SDPN needs to launch the Maddie Cast. And the Maddie Cast is about being happy, even though you might think it might be being about being mad. So it's mostly Maddie talking to Steve and getting him out of his angry traffic mood. It's 10 minutes long. It's before everything single SDP, and it's just about Maddie getting Steve to smile again after he gets out of the car. That's Bad TV says Maddie should sell a $15,000 course. You know? Now we're cooking with gas here, Mad Dog. Let's go. Yeah. I like it. Francois Labelle, doo-doo, Zaka, second goal, makes it 2-1 Bees. There's a lot of Bruins fans in the chat tonight and some Montreal fans here too. I always love that for a Leaf stream, you guys all come in and just hang out. That makes me happy. That makes me feel like, hey, we're building a community here. And I know the Leafs stink, but it's just nice. So, yeah, it is. Maddie said, you know what? This reminds me of vintage Leafs from my generation. Maddie, vintage Leafs from my generation was the conference finals. We went to the conference finals when I was growing up. Smokewater 18. Maddie should launch Maddie Hustler University. And That's Bad TV had the exact same thing afterwards. Mad Dog University. Rachel Bishop and Nicole said 100% would listen to that. You know what, Maddie? You should launch a crypto. Maddie Coin. Yeah, That's Bad TV even said it right there. Build a currency. Also, I agree with the others. There you go. See? Burps McGurps, if you're the Avs, is it scarier to play the Wild or the Stars in the second round? I think it's probably scarier to play Dallas. But the one thing that I know, the Leafs beat the Wild on Sunday, and they're kind of going through a bit of a cold streak, but so are Dallas and so Colorado. So you're allowed to have bad weeks over an 82-game season. The thing about Minnesota that is kind of nuts is it's kind of like how Team USA built their defense. Their defensive mobility is crazy. And that's sort of been Colorado's secret sauce. Like Sam Girard was a good puck mover. They've traded him because Sam Malinsky I don't know if you guys have watched many Colorado games. Check out Malinsky. They just signed him to a big extension. That guy rocks. He's really, really good. It's just Julia said we could call it dog coin. As in Mad Dog. Mad Dog coin. Yes. Anyway, yeah. So to answer the question about is it scarier for the Avs to play the Wild or the Stars, I still think it's the Stars. But if it's the Wild, the one thing that I don't know how Colorado will handle the mobility of the Wild's defense. I think Dallas is actually better suited to handle the Wild than the Avs potentially are, especially because I believe the Stars are healthier, and that's without Mikko Rantanen in the lineup because I think he's missing a couple weeks. Francois LaBelle, this is the best community ever. Click like. Hell yeah. Gripper Nation, baby. Let's go. El Huang. Adam, who is your playoff paper tiger this year, and why is it the Vegas Golden Knights? Well, I think because now officially Edmonton losing Leon Draisaitl means that they are at a distinct disadvantage. The Golden Knights are not getting goaltending. I wish I could sit here and be like, oh, yeah, they got Marner and they got worse. Marner's had a fine season. There's nothing wrong with what Mitch has done. They're playing him at center. Imagine that. I think the Vegas Golden Knights are an older team than they should be. I think they are a thinner team at center than they should be. And I think their goaltending's not very good. I think they thought they might be getting found money when they signed Carter Hart. And the reality is the dude missed 2 years of NHL hockey. And he had barely established himself as an NHL goaltender. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not convinced with the Golden Knights. But again, betting against the Golden Knights is also kind of a bad idea because they do always show up for the playoffs. So I'm struggling with that one, but it feels like perhaps they could be. I still think the Stanley Cup is going to go to the West this year. I think it's going to be one of the Wild Stars or Avalanche. But yeah, I'm looking at the East, and I'm like, listen, if Tampa is healthy, they're an awesome squad. They're awesome. So yeah. Jackie says Draisaitl will be back for the playoffs. I think he's hurt, but the extended time off will guarantee he's good to go for playoff time. So, Jackie, they said he'll miss the remainder of the season. Does that mean – did they just mean regular season? I didn't see that. I thought he was out. Am I wrong? Data Wizard 130. Will there be a March Madness stream, Adam? Probably not. Oh, man, somebody got hit in the face with a puck. Oh, poor guy. He is wearing a Habs jersey at a Leafs Islanders game, so he's a little difficult. But a puck to the eye sucks. Maddie said it's kind of brutal to put him on national television. You're not wrong, Maddie. Data Wizard said, will there be a March Madness stream? Not likely, but there will be World Cup streams, and there is some baseball maybe on the way. Francois LaBelle, Vegas getting Marneritis. Hey, Marneritis doesn't strike until, so that puck was, that's crazy. So the puck that hit that guy in the face, you know he's going to get clowned online for wearing that Habs jersey. You guys know he's going to get clowned. Anyway, Vegas you don't get Marneritis until the first round. And it's usually the first 2 or 3 games of the first round, you're good. Marner's the problem for Marner was always games 5 through 7. So just just sweep every series and you'll win the cup. SLS 98, thoughts on Canada's new soccer jerseys. So I like the red one. A lot of people didn't like the black one. I think it's kind of cool. I didn't have any issues with it. We had this debate in one of our group chats at STPN, and everybody else hated it except for me, who thought it was kind of neat. I don't know. By the way, you didn't hear about the baseball watch-alongs from me. Shh. That never happened. Don't tell no one. I don't know if I was supposed to say anything. Okay? Johnny Jackson, can you be wearing a Habs jersey of a player who's playing in this game? That's a really good question. Okay, let's look at those rosters, okay? I'm just looking over here because this is where my rosters are. New York Islanders, Heineman could be wearing a Heineman jersey, right? Because Heineman came over in the Dobson trade. Barzal, Duclair, Shen, Holmstrom, Lee, Peugeot, Ritchie, Palat, Zizekas, no. Schaefer, Pollock, Pellich, DeLangelo, Susie, Mayfield, no. And on the Toronto Maple Leafs, any former Habs? Max Domi, former Hab. Riley, Carlo, McCabe, Ekman, Larson, Stetcher. No. So it could be an Emil Heineman jersey. If you own an Emil Heineman jersey in Montreal or New York, you are hardcore. That's some hardcore shit. And then I could see you owning a Domi jersey because he did have that 72-point season. It's got to be Max Domi, right? Dolan says, Adam, the Ducks are a paper tiger. So it's interesting you say that. I agree with you, but the Ducks are in their first season. Like their first season being good, right? So, like in a long, long time. To me, you're only a paper tiger when you're a Stanley Cup contender or have been for a while and you've kind of fallen off and nobody's noticed yet. That's when you're a paper tiger. Like, imagine we rolled into the playoffs last year and we were like, you know what? It was like Capitals and Montreal. Montreal Canadiens, upstart, young, fun team. Caps, more of a veteran team. Surprised a lot of people. Who's the paper tiger in that series? It wasn't Montreal, right? They were the young, upstart, fun team. I think the Ducks are the young, upstart, fun team. The Capitals turned out to be the paper tiger because they got wiped by the Carolina Hurricanes in the next series. They might have beat Montreal in 5, but damn, Carolina was like, excuse me, goodbye, see you later. Florida kind of had their way with Carolina after that, but you know what I'm saying, right? Viper says the Ducks have goaltending, though. They do. Listen, I'm pro Ducks. I can be anti-Gudis and pro Ducks. I think the Ducks are the most exciting NHL team on the come up. Them and the Sharks. It's going to be a competition of who is going to be more exciting. And the thing that the Ducks have, I think, right now is more of their guys have taken a bigger step forward. Big shot by Horvat on Joseph Wall. So you look at Celebrini, he's got 40 more points than the next closest guy on the Sharks. You need Eklund and you need Smith to oh man, Barzal just walked in past Carlo. Are the Leafs going to play defense tonight, or are we like, what are we doing here? Barzal just walked in. Wow, this is terrible. This is terrible coverage. I mean, full credit to the Islanders. They're doing a great job. And they score. D'Angelo found, man, that whole shift belongs to Matt Barzal. Heineman scored, but that whole shift is Matt Barzal. And the Leafs could have covered that and didn't. That's a yikes, dude. I'll come back to the Sharks and Ducks in a second. Look at this. What a great pass by D'Angelo. Heineman buries that. Monster. Wham. Goal. Love that. Yeah, but Barzal just he was not going to be denied on that shift. That was a great forecheck from him. And that's the Leafs' top line right now, and they just got embarrassed. Michelli, Tavares, Nylander, and what are Carlo and I don't even know who was out there with Carlo. Carlo just let him walk in. That's crazy. Crazy. Okay, so let's talk Sharks and Ducks. The thing about the Ducks is that they've had more guys take a step forward. You've got Cutter Gauthier, who's got 30 goals this year. You've got Beckett Seneca, who I believe is still leading all rookies in scoring. You've got, let me roll through, who else we got? You got Jackson Lacombe, who's coming into his own and becoming this incredible, probably a Norris Trophy winning defenseman. Leo Carlson. Not enough is made of Leo Carlson. That guy is the next superstar, one of the next superstars in this league. There's a lot to love about the Ducks, and what I'm begging for from the Sharks next season, and it's okay that it hasn't happened this year. You need Eklund and you need Smith to take a real step forward in terms of their scoring. I also love Colin Graff. When we were there last March in San Jose with the Sharks, Colin Graff was a guy that I was like, this guy rocks. He's awesome. They gave me a Colin Graff autographed puck, which is very nice. But Eklund, Misa, those guys, they need to take a step forward next year, and the Sharks are going to be terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Jonathan says Carlo is not beating the plant allegations. Agreed. Francois Labelle, Anderson makes it 2-2. Go Habs. Yeah, go Habs. Listen, if you're going to beat Boston, I'm going to cheer for it. Francois Labelle says, what about Pizzetta? What about Pizzetta? Why don't they play him? I don't get it. Graph is off the charts. Haha. That's funny. 6:33 left in the second period. Oh, nice little play up there from Lorentz. This is the only line that really has anything going for the Leafs, and that's scary. It's Bo Grew. It's Calle Yarncroke. Oh, no, Jake Quillen is out there. Good for Jake Quillen. Get out there and do something so Craig Berube doesn't bench you again. Schaefer fired that puck high. Myers, good thing he's tall because he could have got run over. Quillen gets it in. Here, you know what I like about Quillen? Watch him. Watch the way he skates and the way he's always in. He's in on board battles. He's fighting. He's not winning them all right now. But you're seeing a guy, like, look at this line. They're creating offensive zone opportunities. They are forechecking hard. This is what we're doing now, by the way, as Leaf fans. We're looking at, like, singular performance. Hey, is this line working tonight? Cool. The top line stinks. Let's see what the kids can do. Oh, and I think the Islanders are going to the box here. Matthew Nyes stole the puck, and I think he drew a penalty in deep in the Islanders zone. Mailman Mason. Leafs need Tony Hand. Absolutely. Tony, catch these hands, more like, you know? Francois Labelle, he was Habs 2 conversations ago. He was a Hab. Yes, he was. Newfoundland says Nylander, new captain. I don't think so. Dolan says, Adam, Steve should buy a house plant and name it Brandon Carlo and then carry it on camera wherever he goes. You know, listen, that's a funny bit, but I think that just gets into the neighborhood of, like, are we picking on a guy? From everything I've heard, Brandon Carlo is, like, the best human being. And I always got to remember, we got to remember that, like, they are people. And I will go hard at people for bad performances. You've seen us do it, right? But I think that sort of becomes like a personal thing, and I just don't think that would be us. Maybe somebody else could do that, but that's not I don't know if that's a level that we would go to. Now, if he had a Brandon Carlo plant and Brandon Carlo threw a big hit and the plant fell on Steve's head, so it's a positive spin, I can see that working. But I think if you're just like carrying around a plant going, this guy's a plant, this guy sucks. Like, remember when Dion Phaneuf was here and everybody called him a pylon because he would get turnstiled all the time? Just wingers just rushing by him because he didn't have the foot speed anymore. We weren't carrying around pylons going, this is Dion Phaneuf, you know? Just there's something about it doesn't sit right. I don't know. Does that make sense? Brandon Paul, who is an Islanders fan, says LOL Leafs LOL. LOL Leafs LOL. Fair. I can't even fight that. That's fair. Ice King says it perfectly. It would just be mean-spirited. That's what I was looking for. 5:21 left in the second period. Leafs lose the draw, which is something they've been doing a lot of lately. Without Matthews and Waugh and Lawton, the Leafs don't win a lot of faceoffs anymore, which is crazy because they were one of the NHL's top faceoff teams. Tavares in. Sorokin is on his game tonight. He's looking like Sorokin. Kings fan 25-15 or 25-12. Adam, are you into any video games? Yeah, I am. I haven't had the chance to play many lately because we had the Olympics and then I got sick and then just, it's been busy. Then there's trade deadline. So I haven't had a lot of time. I was thinking about actually going home tonight and downloading a game called Kingdom Come Deliverance. It's like a first-person game where you're like a medieval person and you're training to be a knight, but apparently it's like hilarious. And I could just use a nice little break tomorrow because there haven't been any days that I haven't worked, I think, since like I've been working every day for a couple of months, so I might take a little bit of a break. I don't know. Is it a good game? Is it a fun game? That's all I want to know. Okay, lots of yeses in that. And it's a nice short game, too. Okay. KCD is fun, but not casual friendly. Okay. Well, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with a deep dive. Like, I've got a PS5. I don't have a gaming laptop. I've got a Mac. So there's a lot of games I would love to play on Steam, but they're just not available to me. Like, I'd love to play Star Wars Empire at War again. We've had this conversation. But I can't because I can never get an emulator to work. So eventually one day I'll get a gaming laptop and I'll play on that. But for now, I got to stick with my PS5 games. Viper says very immersive and lots of history that you'd like, Adam. Is it hard? I've heard it's really hard. I'm okay with it being hard, by the way. I'm okay with losing because once you figure it out, you feel so good about yourself. Leafs power play is over. They generate next to nothing, but at least they got a shot this time. Of the 3 power plays the Leafs have had in this game, it took the third one to get a single shot. And here comes Max Domi. He gets stood up. Susie is able to hold him up. And back come the Islanders. It's Casey Cizikas. Bo grew all over him. Jay Costello, play Red Dead Redemption 2 so you understand Steve's bits. Oh, don't worry. I've played it. I just never finished it because I have ADHD. I've never played. I don't know if I've finished any game ever except for StarCraft. I never finish games. Oh, here we go. We got to fight. And it's going to be Morgan Riley and McLean? Is that who Oh, and Riley's down. Riley's not taking any of your shit anymore. He's tired of it. I like seeing that. We've asked these guys to be tougher. We've asked these guys to show some heart. Morgan Riley is the longest tenured Leaf, and he is showing you that. He's showing you he's not giving up. You could ask why now, and you would be right to say why now. But hey, if we ask for it, it might be a decade late, but we are asking for it, and he is giving it. I will take it. It's a little bit weird that it's him. It's a little strange, but I'll take it. That would be Kyle McLean that he fought. Riley's just asking him to go, like, let's go. Because he ran the goalie. And also, that should have been called goaltender interference. Like, he did run the goalie. I think they're arguing for that right now. I think the Islanders are going on the power play, which is sort of insane too. Cowan is going to sit. Leafs are going to get an instigator here, it looks like, or a roughing call. I don't know how they didn't call a goaltender interference. Like, even if you're an Islanders fan, you must see that, right? Right? I know I'm not crazy. That's goaltender interference all day. Barzal. Now, by the way, the Islanders have 2 power plays tonight and 2 goals on them. So it's going great for us. Barzal's having a great night. Back to Schaefer at the point. Shen. Down low to Horvat. And that pass is broken up. McCabe gets the puck. Passes it to Carlo. And Carlo fires it out. Canada Matt says, wouldn't be an Irish holiday without a fist fight. Hell yeah. Holt 289 says, I'm a Bees fan and I just rewatched the Horton hit. There was no response to that, shockingly, at all, but they did put up 8 goals. Hey, that's interesting. Man, Nathan Horton, there's a name. Dolan, Adam, are you okay with the Leafs retaining on Mo's deal in a trade? He's got 3 years left. I think it would depend on how much and what's the return. You know, that's a very subjective comment. I don't think it's the wrong question to ask. I think it's a good question. What do you get back? If you get a B-level prospect back, I'd retain money. Like, who cares? You're the Toronto Maple Leafs. You're just spending the cap anyway. If you get a nice B-level prospect back, somebody who can be a depth player later on, maybe a fifth or somebody who tops out as like a 5-6 on your defense, why not? Or the other thing you can do without retaining money is you can take money back from the other team in terms of a contract. Maybe somebody's got a year or 2 left on their deal. And maybe, you know, if the Leafs are going to go into retool mode, they're going to need some warm bodies. So that's always possible too. Bed and Rot makes sense that a game where you have to mash 1,000 buttons like StarCraft would appeal to your ADHD brain, Adam. Yeah, every few years or so, I break out StarCraft True, and I'm like, all right, this is going to be my personality for the next month. The first time I hear My Life for Ire, it's a good feeling. But you know the problem with that game is that it's once you've done most of the campaign, and again, I've never finished the campaign. It like there's not a whole lot of like you can play the AI and stuff like that, but like the game's almost like 14 years old. They need to make another one. Where are my RTS fans? Where are my real-time strategy fans at? Is there a game that you guys would recommend me playing if I'm going to chill tomorrow? Although, honestly, am I going to chill tomorrow or am I going to do my taxes? Probably going to do my taxes. And taxes are not the most fun, but I'm pretty organized about those. Oh, somebody said Rome Total War. Oh, don't you worry. I know Rome Total War. I own all the Total Wars. Literally all of them. And they all are available for Mac too, which is crazy. I'm very excited for Medieval 3 Total War, which is apparently in being made. Knights of the Old Republic 2. I have played Knights of the Old Republic 1, and I love that game. You can play that on an iPad now. Crash Test Fetus, Slay the Spire 1 and 2. What is that? Interesting. Total War, Warhammer 3, Ages of Empires 2. Okay. Kingdom Come Deliverance. Okay, I think I am going to download that tonight. Hades and Hades 2, Fallout New Vegas. The thing with Fallout New Vegas is, isn't it like really old? I've played Fallout 4. Really like that. Mountain Blade Bannerlord. Oh, don't you worry. Your boy has played Mountain Blade Bannerlord. I almost disappeared and became a character in that game and never came back. Stopped showing up for SDPs. That's how immersive that game is. Victor Mento, Mo shoots muffins and throws pancakes. LOL, go Leafs. Well, hey, we asked him to show some fire, and he did. Vinny, hey, Adam, I'm a Miles fan from Brooklyn. I listened to the pod during the day at work. KCD, so that's Kingdom Come Deliverance, is a fantastic game, super immersive and kind of difficult. Also, Shafe Daddy is our 21st century pod fan. Amen to that. He's spectacular. I love him. You know, underrated Islander that I'm so mad the Leafs traded? Kenny Onsen. Whenever I bring that up, I don't think even Steve's like, oh, I don't know if it's that big. I'm like, Kenny Onsen rocked, dude. He was just playing on bad Islanders teams. He was the captain. Kenny Onsen was a player, man. Go look up Kenny Onsen. Francois Labelle eating a Frenchy foie gras pate double creme brie on a baguette. Oh my God. That sounds good. Sounds really good. Mixed Heart Production says, try Silent Hill 2. The Mafia series, in honor of Max Verstappen duel on a Mario Kart. I like that. I just started PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds again, and it's so fun. Crash Bandicoot. The Hunter Call of the Wild. Emo Jalapeno, ever play Undertale? Don't need a PC and is cheap. I've never heard of it. I'll check it out. Red Wings 80. Damn, didn't know Adam was a gamer. I'm a gamer when I can be, which is not often. I always try. I always kind of keep up with what's coming out because when you're in my stage of life, and I don't want to sound old, but I am 37. That's not old, but your time is limited. You're married. You have a kid. You got responsibilities, running a business, doing streams at night. You kind of go, okay, when I do buy a game, it might be like one a year. And I want to make sure it's awesome. I want to make sure it's the best. So when I do get that little bit of time to play, oh, it's so satisfying. That's why I'm asking you guys about these games. Sloopins 982, is Nick Waugh what Pierre Engvall could have been? Yes. I love that. Absolutely. In fact, I think Pierre Engvall could have been better than Nick Waugh. He has better hands, better skating. Hockey sense is not there. I think one of the greatest things about Nick Waugh's game that I'm going to miss in Toronto is he was always in position. And I'm not even just talking about in like open ice. You watch him when he doesn't have the puck and he's in the offensive or the defensive zone. He's always on the right side of the puck. He's always where he should be. I love that guy. All right, here we go. Colt 289. Do you think the Kachuk's comments on did you see the Kachuk's comments on Matthews? I asked Steve, and he said he did. And y'all might get into it in the pod, but we didn't. No, we didn't get into it because I just listen. There were bigger stories to kind of talk about, honestly, than the Kachuk's talking about Matthews. Listen, I think the Kachucks are, when they said that they would jump in and fight immediately, I don't doubt them. I don't think anything they said was wrong. Go in, cause chaos. That's what those guys do. But you have to remember that they're two guys. And there are two guys on teams that do that. There's a lot of guys around the NHL that do not. I will tell you this, man. I would take either of those guys on my team any day. And I know Matt Tkachuk drives people nuts, and I know Brady Tkachuk drives people nuts. Brad Marchand at his height drove people nuts. I would take any of those guys. I want a team that plays like the Bruins did, like the Panthers do, like the Avs, like Dallas, like tough and mean, but also with incredible skill. Like the thing about the Panthers is that they'll run you over, but they've got incredible skill. That's what we wanted in Toronto. We just never quite got there. And I don't know that we will in this era. It might be time to rebuild. Who knows? I don't think so. Okay, I'm going to leave it for now. Maddie, what clip are we playing? I'm going to be back at the beginning of the third period. Okay, goaltender interference. Does anybody really know what it is? If you're an Islanders fan, you're gonna love this. If you're a Sens fan, you're gonna love this. I want to see what you guys think. Are either of these goals correctly called? Because I don't think they are. Have a look.
Now, we can move on from that to this. And Jesse, I know you were chomping at the bit yesterday to talk about it. We're still going to do it. It's happened over the weekend. Couple of goaltender interference calls that shouldn't have oughta. And
Shouldn't have Ottawa.
yeah. And this one is bonkers. They're both in the same game.
Yes.
So let's talk about this play, Jesse, because this one, people were pretty pissed off about. This actually does not count. This does count.
This first one
counts.
Yeah. So this first one counts. Tim Stützle is out in front. Ville Husso is trying to make a play on the puck, and Tim Stützle's skate directly touches Husso's pad as he's trying to make a save. You can see it being turned, like the skate and the pad being touched, and he goes right through the crease too. His foot's fully in the blue paint, and the puck is there, and you can see the blur of the puck there going right by Husso. And there's a big case to be made. You know, if somebody's not touching him, he's got a better chance to maybe do a little push off and make that save, or just, hey, you can't touch the goalie while he's trying to make a save.
I thought you could, though.
That should be the baseline of what goalie interference is. Can't touch the goalie while he's trying to make a save.
They're really protective of the skates. Like if you get him in the arm or something, they're like, "Shut up, stop whining." But if you nudge him in the skate, that's one of those ones that like does genuinely impede a goalie's job.
And if the goalie's outside of the blue paint,
totally,
it changes.
It's a little different. But here he's in the blue paint, and I don't know if it's a little acting on Husso's part or not. But either way, you see on this that he spins a little too. So if he's exaggerating the spin or if the spin is genuine, doesn't matter. He's still being touched and he still is moved a little by the skate. So you'll see at this angle, he moves and he's this way because the skate kind of propels him and he's going for the save this way. So the referee decides, hey, we got to go review this thing. Let's see what happens. And then he turns to the goal and he points it.
What?
Goal.
Yeah, that's a goal. By the way, for all the Ducks fans who are mad,
didn't know.
All the Ducks fans who are mad, see, we're still pro Anaheim.
That is an awesome, genuine reaction.
You didn't see
I
that?
had no idea.
No, this was the one.
I knew the game was 2-0. I didn't.
This was the one that was called a good goal.
Okay, but there's two in this game.
There's two in this game.
And they both involve Stützle, I believe.
They both involve Stützle.
Okay.
So
what was the...
That one's a good goal.
Yep.
Why?
And then this one, which happens later in the game.
We were having such a genuine conversation about why it's not a goal.
Yeah.
and then later in the game, Stützle scores what might have been the goal of the year if they hadn't taken it back.
Okay.
So Stützle is charging the net. So it's a little blurry because of how fast he's moving. So he's charging the net. Ville Husso's in the net still. And you'll see here, he goes right over the pad. So
that's not a goal.
So the left foot of Husso's extended and Stützle goes right over it. Unbelievable. Backwards shot while he's diving like Bobby Orr forwards.
Right.
Can I
magic.
see it? Can I see it without the screen grab?
I'll show you in real time, Steve, so you can get a look at this.
Sorry, I'm being greedy.
No, all good. And then I'll show the camera the other side.
Oh!
Adam, if you want to take a look
Yeah,
here at the one side.
Wow.
We'll go one more time. I'll show this angle on the screen. Unreal.
Now, to me, okay, if the first one is a goal, so wait, what is the order of events?
Let me show this angle. Let me show this angle because this is where you can really see how much contact he makes with the goalie, or should I say, how little contact he actually makes with the goalie.
All right.
Because Stützle is going to Husso, and he stops here and he hops. This is an incredible play to avoid contact with the goaltender.
But the contact.
And
is
he does
outside of the blue paint, though.
He does
but
make contact.
Husso's in the blue paint, though.
But
But the contact is outside.
that doesn't matter.
But Stützle also has the puck. It's not that Husso's trying to make a save here. It's Stützle has the puck and is shooting.
Yeah, but he still comes too close to the goalie. You can't do that. He's in the air. Husso's in the blue paint. It doesn't matter that Stützle isn't. It matters that Husso was moved while he was in the blue paint.
I think it matters that Stützle is the one shooting and is going to make a play on the puck.
So, okay. Now I'm extra confused because the first one,
Yes.
someone had to challenge it, right?
Yes.
And my assumption is that would have been the Ducks, and the Ducks lost that challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So who challenged this?
So this one was not challenged by Ottawa.
It was just called no goal on the ice?
They reviewed it for goalie interference, and it's no goal.
It is no goal. He makes contact with him in the crease.
So wait, it was called no goal on the ice. Ottawa challenged and lost.
Ottawa did not challenge. They did not challenge.
Why was it reviewed?
The call. They said it was no goal on the ice for goalie interference.
Because they wanted.
Sorry, I don't know if it's reviewed or not.
Or sorry, so it was called no goal on the ice, and Ottawa didn't even bother
They didn't
trying.
challenge because the other one. I think they're like, okay, we got lucky there. Let's not do anything here.
They were already up too, weren't they?
So they don't challenge for goalie interference there. Yes, the results of the game, thankfully, is 2-0 Ottawa. They win that game in a shot. That was the Saturday game that Ottawa played.
Strategically, that's probably the right call because you need these points bad. Ottawa's doing really, really well. You need these points real bad. And if you're already up in the game, what was it, already 2-0?
Yep, they win it. They end up winning 2-0. Strategically, yeah, right call.
Strategically, that's the right call. But I think if you reviewed it based on the first goal, it's absolutely a goal.
You think this is going to be called a goal on the ice?
Well, if the first one counted, I don't see this as any better or worse.
Yeah.
It's basically the same thing.
I think this is a goal.
Okay.
And that the first one isn't a goal.
But he is making. It's not about the skate contact. I want to say first off, Stützle's skate is in the crease where it shouldn't be.
Mm-hmm.
He is making contact with Husso, and it's not the leg; it's the body. Husso is fully rotated by Stützle's move there.
Okay, so
That's his fault.
I'll take that. So then why was the first one reviewed and called a good goal?
I agree with you there.
And Anaheim did take that penalty for unsuccessful challenge.
Here's how I look
they
at
were
it.
on the penalty kill.
Revenant was not Leonardo DiCaprio's best movie, but they got him back for it because they're like, we got to give him something. I think that's what happened here.
The correct answer is game management includes goalie interference.
Yes.
Which is stupid.
And the refs were like, yeah, we probably got that one wrong. Let's get
this-
this
I'll buy
one's
that.
no goal.
Yeah.
I'm saying based on what they called earlier in the game, where they went to the little iPad that sits in the penalty box and they said, this is a good goal. This one should have been a good goal too.
How many high fives do you think were exchanged by the officials? Like, yeah, we got it right. We still got it right.
If the other one is not a goal, which I think it wasn't a goal, this one should have also been called not a goal. But they
agree.
called the other one a goal. So in the same game, in a period later, they have to call this one a goal too.
Out of the two, I think this one is far less egregious
It's closer
than
to a
the
goal.
first.
Yeah.
But this one's closer to a goal.
But to
But
me,
this
they're
one was
both
the one that wasn't a goal.
Yes.
Which is stupid.
they're similar enough that they should both be the same call.
Yeah.
Whatever that call is.
Okay, that's the only conclusion I think we should draw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think the first one is not a goal. So I'm okay with this one not being a goal, except that's not what you said.
Right.
Right?
And
You
it comes
called
back
the first
to-
one a goal. So what the?
It comes back to what we said yesterday about the Department of Player Safety. There is no precedent. They look at these two, and you were looking at them and comparing them. That's not how they look at them. They go and God separated light from dark and created night and day. And we're going to start from that, or we're going to start all over again. There's no precedent. So stop comparing one goal to another goal.
Right.
Because every goal is, I just learned to read. And I'm going to read a chapter book for the first time.
No. It's you show someone letters for the first time.
Yeah, 100%.
Ever.
It's literally the foundation of the building has not been poured. And so that is how you have to look at these. They are isolated incidences. They might not even happen in the same game. The only reason we know they happen in the same league, if you're NHL head office, is because it's in the NHL.
The NHL Department of fucking.
Yeah, exactly. That's what George should have called it. The fucking players
NHL
or whatever.
Department of fucking. There, Eric Engels was on to something.
He was.
We got a new name. The
I love
NHL
that.
Department of fucking.
I think there should be at least some style points as well for Tim Stützle, where you just call it a goal.
Sexy.
Because of how unbelievable the play is.
But you know what?
Your Honor, have you considered it looked chill as shit?
That should factor in.
Yeah, but you know what? You know what? Tim Stützle scoring a goal while diving through midair is actually kind of perfect. You're right, Jesse. Fine. I was going to criticize it, but no notes. Perfect.
Like,
He looks like a sardine.
Yeah.
unreal.
And that's the first real dive of his entire career.
Gee, okay.
That's incredible. He is very good at it. I mean, he's had a lot of practice landing.
That's a poster.
Your Honor, have you considered this as nails? Yeah, no, that looks awesome.
Blue Jackets beating the Canes, huh? Uh-oh. Are the Detroit Red Wings going to fall out of a playoff spot? This is a good question. This is a question for the ages. Did Detroit win last night? I need to find out. They did beat Calgary. So how did Boston do? They lost. Boston are playing tonight, are they not? They're tied 2-2 with the Canadiens. Uh-oh. Guys, that playoff race at the bottom of the Eastern Conference is awesome. Looking at it right now, Detroit has played 68 games, 82 points. Boston, 67 games. They did not win last night. They've only got 81. Columbus, 79 and 66. And the Ottawa Senators, 77 in 66. Are the Sens playing tonight? The Sens are not playing tonight. Oh, they're going to play tomorrow. Okay. Well, that'll be, honestly, like it's getting a little tight in there. Now, there's a cushion for Detroit and there's a cushion for Boston, but it's not a great one. Ooh, scary. Mixed Heart Productions, trouble for the Bruins. Loister says Boston gets the 9th overall pick. Is it their own or is it the Leafs? Which one? I last year the Islanders moved up from 22nd to I think they were 22nd in the league last year, and they got the first overall pick and were able to draft Matthew Schaefer. I don't think the Leafs are that lucky. I just don't think so. Canes fan says, I need JVR in the playoffs, please. I know. It'd be nice to see him back in there. Key 306 says, Adam, if you ever played the Walking Dead games, you should try Dispatch. It's a story game that's hilarious. I never played the Walking Dead games. Are they good? Colt 289 already did that one. JC says, and with the 6th overall selection, the Bruins select. I know. Listen, we all know what's coming. What are you going to do? There's nothing we can do. Emily Kathleen dropping 5 SDPN memberships. Why? Just because she felt like it. Just because she's cool. Thank you, Emily. Dom 834 pain. This game's been a bit painful. And what's been painful about it is all of the jump and the try that the Leafs had. Oh, Bo Grew got kicked out of the faceoff dot. In comes Nick Robertson. What's been frustrating about it is that the pop and the energy they had post Matthews injury seems to have dissipated. Oh, we're just tired. Like I am. You know? Viper says, watch Boston get the 6th and 7th overall pick. Oh, it's the guy that got hit in the face with the puck. Oh, he's gonna have a nice shiner. He's got an ice pack. Everybody's gonna clown that guy. Turret says, never yawn again. Did everybody yawn? I'm sorry. It's been a really long day and a really long week already, and it's only Tuesday. Emo Jalapeno says, I drove to Toronto today. I'm also exhausted. Yeah. Believe it or not, I'm holding back another yawn, and it's not because of you guys. It's just because this is a lot today, you know? Sometimes you just want to go home and crawl into bed and say, okay, that's enough. SLS 98 for any Toronto hockey fans. Just spend your money on the Scepters. These guys ain't worth it. I think that's fair. Maybe spend it on the Marlies. Go see a prospect or two, right? And the Marlies are a cheap ticket. I meant to take my daughter this year. I don't know if we're going to get the chance, but I'm going to take her next year for sure. Scepters and Marlies. Scepters is not a cheap ticket. It's hard to get those. Like, I almost kind of wonder at what point are we going to go, whoa, are we going to get an arena that is like 10,000 people in Toronto? Because with the Toronto Tempo coming to town, oh no, Joseph Wylde just got tied up by Emil Heineman. Barzal gets it. And Quillen is going to take that puck out past to Easton Cowan. Easton Cowan is not able to receive that pass, unfortunately, and into the Islanders' zone it goes. 18:35 left in the second. Shots are 20-16 in the Islanders' favor. Meme Empress, at least you don't have to stay up because West Coast swing go brr. Oh, you're a Tampa fan, right? I don't know what my boys are doing, but I want to peel paint off the wall. Yeah. Loister says Hamilton gets an AHL team next year. It's the Islanders Farm TV. I know. It's exciting. And apparently that new arena, or at least Cops Coliseum that's been renovated now, and I think it's called TD Center? TD Arena? It's TD something. Apparently it's really nice. Michelli. Nylander's slow to get up on the ice here. If Nylander's hurt, I'm just gonna say, why are you playing him? Oh, like really, if he is actually hurt, don't play him. Don't do that. You don't need to do that. Sit him. Adam, have you played Crusader Kings 3? No, I have not. Is it good? Henderson Galbraith says, being an overnight worker comes in handy for those Western Conference swings. Absolutely. You know what I wonder? People that work shift work, that, like, I had a friend who was a police officer, some friends who were paramedics. And I always wonder, like, okay, you do those shifts where you're like, okay, we're going to do 7 days on, and it's 12-hour shifts, and it's during the day. And then you're going to do 5 days, and it's going to be in the evenings. And then you're going to do 4 days, and it's overnights. How do you continually put your body through that? That's really intense. Emily Kathleen dropping another 5 SDPN memberships. Well, thank you. Thank you, Emily. I almost said Emily. I meant Stephen Lorentz. Sorry, Emily. I was almost like, Emily! Stephen Lorentz with the shot in on Ilya Sorokin, and that puck did squeeze through his legs, but Quillen was unable to get a stick on him, and neither was Yarncroke. Schaefer and Pollock doing a good job on their defensive coverage there. So that's what it looks like when teams do a good job with that. Emily, it's your fault that they didn't score there, all right? Yarncroke with a shot. Quillen! Oh, Quillen Lewis in a wide open net. Oh, you saw it. It was there. Oh, poor Jacob Quillen. It was right there. Right there for him. Oh. My heart breaks for the man. They call him up. He's playing BS minutes. And he finally gets an opportunity. Damn it. Cizikas with the shot. That's off a wall. There's Quillen again. Great pass to Stetcher. And that puck goes in to the crowd. And Quillen is mad at himself for missing that one. Okay, watch this. He is wide open. Look at this pass. Great rebound. Oh, you know what? It was a rolling puck, and the Islanders' defense was on him. Credit to the Islanders' D. They didn't give him any time. But that puck's rolling. Cizikas has got him. Yeah. That's tough, man. Colt 289. Steve has the right to wear a Schaefer jersey if gifted, right? Yes, of course he does. Loister says your feed is 30 seconds ahead of my feed on TV. I'm on Bell Cable. Emily Kathleen says, I accept it. I will carry this burden. Emily, you and Jake Quilla need to figure it out. This guy's got 2 opportunities tonight, has not scored on either of them. We got to, Emily, the entire chat is relying on you. All of us. Oh, so you're watching on, okay, so any Loister, you're watching on Rogers? Is that what it is? So you're watching on Sportsnet Plus, right? That's your problem. If you're watching on the app, you're not going to see the game in real time. They always do on the app, it's always 40 seconds late. Colt 289. Hey, what's SDPN's PO inbox or PO box? I can't give that out on a live stream, but you can always email us info@sdpn.ca. But before, don't go buying anything. Don't go buying anything. Don't do that. I don't want you doing that because you work really hard and we don't want to take advantage of your money. Okay? Seriously. But that's very kind of you to offer. You can always email us, but please, please, please do not waste your money. We can have a chat over email. We'll just put it that way. Brandon Paul says, I'm watching on the States on DirecTV streams, which is always or also behind. It's because you're on a stream. Streams are always behind cable because they want you to buy cable. Loister says, how do you become a member at SDPN? You can, Steve Dangle, the game is blacked out in Nova Scotia. Are you flipping serious? Well, Steve, of course it's blacked out in Nova Scotia. It's a local game. You have to watch on Sportsnet Plus, which I'm sure you have. I'm sure you have it. Or you could always sail the 7 seas, Steven. Come on. By the way, Loister, this is a good opportunity to talk about SDPN membership. Steve is an SDPN member. I'm an SDPN member. Jesse Blake is an SDPN member. And many people here, anybody that's got green on their name is an SDPN member. Now, a couple ways you can become that. You can be gifted a subscription for 30 days where you get to try it out, test out our VIP, which is awesome because we have new episodes every single week. Steve dropping 20 SDPN memberships. Steve Dangle is trying to get you in the VIP doorway. Now, here's the deal. You get an extra episode every single week when you're a VIP, but there's another tier. But wait, there's more. Okay? And the more is that if you sign up and upgrade to the next tier, which is SDP VIP ad-free, rolls right off the tongue, you get yourself every single episode, forever and ever, as long as you have the subscription, completely ad-free. And you get them earlier because it actually takes us longer to edit the episodes with the ads than it does without. Oh, look at this. We got a subscription streak rolling here. Alex9269 getting more people in to try out VIP. Let's go. Nick Jagan said, I guess Steve found out that he can read today. But how well? We don't know that for sure. He could have been using ChatGPT. We don't know that Steve can read. Anyway, Sierra Marlowe says the VIP episodes are always hilarious. We recorded one today. You guys are going to love that. Oh, big shot. Wool turns that aside. So all I'm saying is, Loyalster, check it out. Understand, of course, if subscription's not for you, if you want to remain on the free side, totally get that too. But if you can, it's $6.99 a month. You can do it on Apple. You can do it on Spotify. You can do it on YouTube. Unfortunately, the membership does not extend to all 3 services. That's because they're all 3 different companies, and they don't work with each other. We would do it that way, but they don't seem to want to do it that way. Danny says VIP ad-free is so worth it. There you go. Jacob says, I'm in Nova Scotia, and I have to pay $250 a year to get NHL Center Ice to watch the Leafs. Wow. You get it on Center Ice, huh? Not on Sportsnet? That's interesting. Maddie says, someone ask Adam how many books he's read in a year, LMAO. No, Maddie, we don't brag about how many books we've read. If you do that, you're kind of a dink. How much did you glean from that book and apply to your life? That is the point of reading. The point of reading is to learn, not to stack up numbers. It's just Julia said, how many books has performative reader Adam finished this year? You know what, Maddie? Look what you started. Emo Jalapeno, 5 SDPN memberships. Let's go. More members, more people. Nikesh Jagan says, what if Maddie didn't read the books? What if she merely listened to them? There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong about that with that. Steve Dangle said, talk about Rogers versus Rogers. That's the one book Steve read last year. And the only books he's reading this year are the ones he's reading in Truro, Nova Scotia. Allegedly to people. I'm sure Steve will have a translator there that's reading on his behalf, right? And look at that. Matt Landers, welcome to SDP VIP ad-free. Matt, who is an Islanders fan, has joined us. Thank you, Matt. We love you, man. Appreciate you. Sierra Marlowe, agree about apples when high school just had a Honeycrisp. I don't know what you're referencing. That's Bad TV says Adam reads. No, I listen. I listen to audiobooks all the time. And on Spotify, I just add books that I want to read. And I was watching a TikTok last night. It was a really good one where they said, listen, if you hate the book you're reading, finish it. Even if you hate it, finish it. Because it will help you get to figure out what types of books you actually like. And it's important sometimes to consume shit that you don't like, stay in the fight, finish the book, and go, I hated that book, and here's why I hated it. It's like a movie. Finish the movie, even if you don't like the movie. Now, if you're scared of the movie, that's one thing. But if you don't like the movie, finish the movie and go, why didn't I like this? It helps you kind of figure out more about yourself. And I was like, damn, that's so good. I was getting into a little bit of jumping around on books. Right now, I am reading. I will show you guys. I am reading. You guys are going to love this. Steve's going to roll his eyes because I know he's here. I'm reading this book, The Borgias, Power and Depravity in Renaissance Italy. That is what I am reading. So, check that out. It's actually quite delicious, this book. A lot of what Game of Thrones was based on the Borgias and this family. So it's definitely worth checking out. Colt 289 says, do good hockey books exist? Yes, but none of them are written by Steve Dangle. I'm kidding. There's 2 pretty damn good books. I would check that out. Robert says, I just finished The Body Keeps the Score, and I would recommend it to pretty much any other book. So you hated that book. All right. Kyle says, I read the SDPN 3 times a week. Stop it, Kyle. I know what you're saying with that. Listen, you think that I had time to sit down and read these books and do these shows? No. When do I get to listen to books? When I'm in the car to and from work. All right? Some of us don't have the time. All right? Alex 9269, there are so many good books to read. I think I can DNF the Monster Smut. Were you reading Monster Smut? Those are huge, by the way. People make so much money off those. Rex says, I thought Game of Thrones was based on the War of the Roses between the Yorks and the Lancasters. Yes, partially. But the Borgias and how their family interacted, and even the rumors about the incest, all of that stuff, all of that. If you read the Borgias, if you read about the Borgias, you'll be like, oh, that was in Game of Thrones. It's the interpersonal, some of the interpersonal stuff. The Borgias are also in Assassin's Creed 2. That's very true. Great history games. Oh, man. Philip Myers just tried to dump the puck in and his stick exploded. By the way, all of you chirping me about listening to audiobooks, you guys are snobs, including you, Mad Dog. Including you. Holmstrom. Okay. All right. Maddie said she's read one book this year and it was a lesbian smut book. Hey, here's the thing about smut books that I actually have to give the authors credit. Like, it's not easy to pull off smut and make it believable. Like, if anybody has ever, have you ever said something like, let's not get too personal. We could get a little personal. Have you ever had somebody dirty talk to you, or you've tried to say something dirty and it just didn't quite land? And they kind of like look at you like, that was supposed to be sexy, right? You know what I mean? And you're like, yeah, that didn't work. Like, imagine, like, you try a couple sentences, right? Imagine trying to write an entire book and it's got to be believable and smutty. That's all I'm saying. Here we go. Dan says, Adam, if you haven't heard of it, you might like a YouTube channel called This is History with Dan Jones. Yes, Dan's very good. He's a historian and he's an awesome storyteller. Big fan of Dan Jones. He's doing a lot of, in Britain, he's kind of doing what we've done with SDPN, only he's doing it with history. History Hit, his whole network of history shows. Really, really, really good content. Really good stuff. Alex 9269. We can all agree though that Catcher in the Rye sucks. Thank you, Alex. That book sucks. I will not be taking any comments at this time. Catcher in the Rye sucks. Oh, pure noise fan? Noise sitter fan? Anyway, 5 SDPN memberships. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Steve said, yo, did you see the Habs fan get hit with the puck in Toronto tonight? I'm just catching up. Yes, we did. And we had a good laugh about it because he would much rather be wearing any other shirt in the world than a Habs shirt. And it was such a bizarre play, too. Like, puck skirts through the neutral zone, goes off a skate or a stick blade, and bang, right into his eyeball. Loyster, Adam, how can someone be a guest on your podcast? We don't do a lot of guests. I think guests are overdone. We only do guests. Our rule is we only do guests when they are going to further the conversation. So when we have Chris Johnson on, we know that that's an event. Like, CJ brings the heat, right? Sometimes we'll bring Frank Corrado on. He'll explain some hockey stuff. He'll tell some stories. Frank's awesome. You don't bring on guests that don't add things. I've always felt that people overdo guesting on podcasts. Not everybody's going to be Joe Rogan and call her daddy, right? Where they interview somebody every day. You gotta carry it yourself. And not every guest is interesting. Can we just be honest about that? Like, not every guest is interesting. We get lucky sometimes. Like, when the Scepters come in, Natalie Spooner is a great interview. Renata Fast is a great interview. Emma Malte was a great interview. Like, fun, whatever. But, like, you guys have seen players get interviewed before. Not that exciting. Pizzetta was good. We had Pizzetta on in November. He was great. Nice guy. Meme Empress, RE3 now has a mod to take Leon's shirt off, a mod to have him only in his briefs, and now one to put him in a Playboy Bunny suit. What is RE9? I don't even know what that is. Should I know? Am I missing something very obvious here? Colt 289. Have they mentioned or showed that Schaefer has 1,000 attendees? He said apparently before the game, somebody was in the chat saying he was using a little bit of hyperbole. Emo Jalapeno says, technically Adam is reading right now. Exactly. Oh, Resident Evil 9. Where is Steve Dangle? Do you think he's still here? He's hanging out in his hotel room in Truro, Nova Scotia, trying to find the Leafs game. He's got to do a couple videos tonight. He's got to do the he's got to do the LFR, obviously, but he's also got to do the Vinny video because the Leafs signed a defenseman named Vinny. Hey, Steve, when is the Vinny video? When is it? Give it to us. We want it. We want it right now. And he just said no. Also, I guess we're gonna get a. Should we get Steve Dangle to do a TikTok? Come with me as I go read books to students in Truro, Nova Scotia. Come with me. Every one of those videos. So Maddie's saying she'll do the voiceover. Actually, you know what you should do? You should be one of those TikTokers that's like super quiet, like, "Hey, so come with me as I go eat a sandwich in the kitchen." Why do people do? It's like it's a weird aesthetic. Come with me as I go pick something out of my teeth after a steak dinner. Like, it's weird. Why are people like that? Maddie says that she feels like it scratches a part of their brain. Yeah, you're probably right. It's like ASMR. I don't get it, but I know people love it. Steve said, I'm going to put it in my LFR. Flight was delayed 3 hours. Hey, Steve, coward. You're a coward. You're a coward. Do a 9-minute video on this new defenseman, Steve, or you're a coward. What were you doing for 3 hours? Oh, your flight was delayed. Oh, no. That means you had to sit for 3 hours? Oh, no. Vinny vid. Come on, help me out, chat. You want a separate Vinny vid, don't you? Don't you? Boy, the Leafs are bad, by the way. This period is not any better than the first two. MT says, when are you going to face reality that you're a coward, Steve? Oh, we all want the Vinny vid. We want the. You did a video for Simone Benoit, and you're not going to do Vinny? You're going to do one of your boys like this? Come on. Justice for Vinny. I agree, Viper. Justice for Vinny. Sammy Lidstrom, ASMR video of Steve reading books. LOL. So anyway, this one time I was at the zoo, and I snuck into the zoo, and I had fun at the zoo. Anyway, I know you guys all know me from hockey, but I was at the zoo. Steve's going to kill me. You guys know that, right? He's coming for me. Meme Empress, Vinny Vid or Hat Guy plays Red Dead. Decide, Steve. Steve says, which knee? Everybody wants the Vinny Vid, Steve. You might not like it, but everybody wants it. I'm just saying. Listen, my name is Adam Wylde, and my job is to deliver to the people what they want. They want a separate Vinny Vid. I'm here to represent the people. I am for the people. A lot of Vinny Vids. A lot of people asking for Red Dead Redemption 2 streams. I think, Steve, you should do that this summer. That's what I think you should do. Because it's kind of difficult with all the hockey games on. Like, Steve has a family. That man has a family. You can't just be streaming every night of the week. Nikesh says, actually, I'd totally watch Steve play Red Dead Redemption. Honestly, it'd be sick. I think he did do it the one time, but I'm pretty sure he did the first chapter, which is so boring. I feel like if we got Steve to do a Red Dead Redemption stream, it would have to be a chapter 2 because no one cares. And Jake says, please play High Honor. Play a High Honor run. That'd be good. Steve has played 2 episodes of Red Dead Redemption 2, but his mic was bad. Oh, that's too bad. Silent Rob says, the AI chat summary says, viewers in the chat are saying they want the streamer to make a video about Vinny. Steve, the AI does not lie, my friend. Oh, Michelle's having a hard time on the ice. Puck goes off his skate, and then he turns around to get the puck and then falls on the puck. Josh says, Adam, do you expect major improvements this year from Ferrari? Absolutely. Especially after the first 5 or 6 races, I would expect Ferrari to be closing in on level with Mercedes. Mercedes is a good jump, but Ferrari could be a sleeper to win the championship. Henderson Galbraith. Gavin! Gavin! Have you seen my cousin, Gavin? Even I know that one. Silent Rob 1192. I don't even know what this Vinny is. Vinny, the new guy they signed. What's his name? Vinny, what is it? Leafs sign. I'm just going to Google that. Leafs sign Vincent Borghese. Oh, play out front. Max Domi is robbed by Ilya Sorokin. Not much you can do about that. Steve Dangle said, I made a Red Dead Redemption 2 save on the SDPN console with the save that starts at Chapter 2. Hell yeah, Steven. But I think you got to do it at home. If you do it here, like, when are you going to have time to do it here? You got to do it at home on, like, a non-game night this summer. People want you to play. Steve, the people want a Vinny video, but even more, they want Steve playing Red Dead Redemption 2. They want you to go get the bear hat from the guy in the woods. You know the bear hat? That really weird hat that they want that. Silent Rob, that's a great freaking name. Deserves a video just for the name. I know. Steve won't do it, though. He's a coward. Steve might be too busy doing baseball streams this summer. Nikesh, Steve, I'd legit watch you play through the entire game. I know. Harry French, a Red Dead Redemption 2 stream, but it's just Steve showing off his favorite things in the game. I love that. You know what else would be a good Steve Dangle one-off stream? Just shit Steve owns. Take me through the shit in the blue room. What do you own? What do you own that's kind of crazy? Show us your dolls. A show us your dolls Steve stream would be sick. Koki Doki says, Adam, do a Civilization stream. I've never played that game. I should try that. The Zamboni driver, the Leafs are not making the playoffs, so theoretically he should have more time. He won't. We're all going to be streaming, Steve and Jesse and I, all the way through the playoffs. Steve will not have more time. Steve will not have more time. Nylander behind the net. Are the Leafs going to try to make a push here in the last 5 minutes, or are we just... Look at Carlton. Carlton looks sick with his St. Pat's gear. It's too bad the team doesn't look sick around him. Number 12 says, Civilization is so much fun. Adam, you got to try playing it. You'd love it. My problem is I don't have a gaming laptop. I got a MacBook. It's kind of cut me off from a lot of good computer games for a long time. It's a bummer. Unless you can get it on PS5. Oh, Leafs are going to the box. Another high stick, and I think this is Robertson. His second penalty of the game. Pellich looks like he's in real pain. No, maybe not. I think it hit him in the eye. MT says, get a Steam Deck. The problem with the Steam Deck is it's sold out. You can't get them right now. Where the hell am I going to get one of those? Yeah, Pellich got hit pretty hard there. Sammy Lindstrom, I know this game is old, but a game night of all three of you playing Among Us with fans would from Discord. I don't know that game. Oh, yeah, Tavares whacked him. Oh, my God. Yeah, that didn't look fun. Domino Night, how do we know Adam doesn't watch Steve? We recently got a Blue Room video. Oh no, I know, but it's gone. It's deleted. Doug, one of Steve's guys signed with the Isles today. Keshawn Aitchison. Oh, Steve loved him. Loved him. Oh, okay. Civilization is available on PlayStation 5. I like that. Harry French, SDPN crew and producers play Jackbox games. I love Jackbox. By the way, the Leafs will be shorthanded for the remainder of the game, assuming that they don't allow any goals. Tavares got a 4-minute penalty, and there's only 4 minutes and 36 seconds to go. So, assuming the Leafs are even able to kill this penalty, Tavares will have 1 minute to try to score. Pretzel Hunt. No response from the Islanders. What the F? That's good. Johnny Jackson making a VIP reference. We need more Family Feud. The Family Feud with Jesse and Maddie was fun. Oh, Maddie's hoping we can play that again. I agree. Mitch says Civilization works on Mac. Played it on mine and it works great. Awesome. Okay, I'll check it out. I'll check it out. I got to get something going. But first, I have to do my taxes. Fart. It's not that bad. Sometimes you're just like, oh, you know what it is with taxes? Getting started. It's just getting started, man. Mo Bailey, Team DEI was iconic. You guys won, right, Maddie? Or did Steve and I win? Yeah, you and Jesse won. Yeah. Was it me? Did I screw it up? Oh. Colt 289, did you see Bruce Cassidy's response to the 2-ref rule question? I did not. Boston is at least getting 1 point tonight, apparently. Okay. I guess they're going to overtime. I'm still wondering about Detroit. What's Detroit going to do this week? It's a big week for Detroit. And they play Boston on Saturday. That's going to be a game to watch. Leafs have killed 90 seconds of this 4-minute power play. Francois LaBelle says Habs going to OT. That's correct, sir. Oh, boy. Acerie says, Adam, I asked you an effing question. You did? Did I miss something? Where did you ask me? I don't know. I don't see it. Oh, I said when Leafs, bro. I'm watching the Leafs kill a penalty right now. I hope you're watching it too. Is it fun? Tony DeAngelo's got the puck. He's down low to Anders Lee. Back to Tony DeAngelo. Holmstrom open. DeAngelo to Holmstrom. Holmstrom at the blue line. To Duclair down low. Duclair across the ice. Oh, and it's a missed opportunity. Duclair with the puck. Wall is down. Back to DeAngelo. Duclair's got his stick in the air. He's wound up. He's ready to go. Heineman to DeAngelo. Puck's in Duclair's blade. There it is. Oh, a shot on the net. And Joseph Wall with a huge save. This is just like practice. Neither team cares right now. Acery A, in all seriousness, Adam, are you following the World Baseball Classic? I stopped following it once Canada was out, to be honest with you, because I'm big mad and I'm salty about it. Butcher, idea. Steve, Jesse, and yourself do a day in the life video blog, and they all end at the desk at the start of the SDP. Well, we do the SDP at 11 a.m., so it would be a short vlog. Wake up, drink coffee, bring kid to school, prep, go to air. Come with me as I go to the desk at SDPN. Oh, William Nylander just dropped a blocked shot. He is killing a penalty now with Matthew Nyes. All right, sure. Robar says one off stream, but Steve takes us on a zoo tour. You know that would be sick. He would be like one of those, like, he'd be like Zoomaxing. He'd be one of those guys. Come Zoomaxing with Steve. Colt 289. Apparently, if refs no show, players volunteer. That is true. Get ready with me as I roll out of bed and get to the SDPN studios. Tool fan says Boston doesn't need the playoffs this year. Detroit needs it. I know they've fallen a little bit since Larkin went out, but I think ultimately they're going to be okay. Georgie the Princess, despite the early goals, Isles' power play is terrible unless Shen was the fix. You know what I think it is? It's probably a little bit of both. The Leafs stink, and the Isles got better with Shen. And I think Shen's excited, man. He's going back to the playoffs. Domi with a shot. Oh, the Leafs have not given up. There's only 10 seconds to go. Tavares to Michelli. Just shoot the puck, guys. And that shot is blocked. And Domi gets it in. And Knies with the shot. Sorokin is a dog. Look at Sorokin. Sorokin made like 5 saves at the end of that game. The Islanders are going to be a problem in the playoffs, guys. If all else fails, Ilya Sorokin is still back there. Yeah, that was good. That was real good. Good for him. All right. So listen, I'm going to wrap it up early tonight because I'm a little tired. Maddie's been here all day. So I'm going to send Maddie. Well, I'm not going to send Maddie home. Maddie's going to the bars. So we're not staying late tonight because Maddie's got to go. She's got partying to do. So listen, happy St. Patrick's Day. Love you all. Thank you so much for hanging out on a Tuesday night for the Islanders game. No offense to Islanders fans. We love you. But the Leafs on a Tuesday when they stink, oh my God. And I hope you guys all have a great St. Patrick's Day. Please stay safe. Don't drink too much. Just drink enough to have a great time. And I will see you Friday, and Steve will see you Saturday. So we got streams all week. If there's a Leaf game, there's a stream. Doesn't matter how shitty the Leafs are. Now, love you all. Have a great night.